Welcome back to another episode of the Adventure Athletes podcast. In this week's episode, I sit down with a good friend of mine, James Edwards. Now, James is an incredible runner. He's had some quite big life experiences is the best way I can describe it. He set himself some amazing challenges, which we briefly go into in the challenge, but we don't even really talk that much about it, to be honest. I think this is the first podcast I've gone away from where it's a long podcast, and we both sort of went away and was like, I don't even really know what we talked about, because we didn't get into that much detail about any of the things that's happened to him or anything like that. There's so much more to James's story, so I definitely recommend reaching out to him, having a chat, especially if you want to find out more about him. But he is a fascinating character. We get on because we have very similar mindsets and approaches to these big challenges and to life in general. So it was an absolutely fantastic chat, which is why it probably went on for so long. Yeah, massive shout out to James. Now, before we get into the podcast, I just wanted to say that I am an ambassador and fundraiser for Sport in Mind, as I always tell you guys, and I won't stop going on about because I'm very proud that I get to call myself an ambassador. I have set up this big group fundraiser where we're seeing how much money we can raise within a year. So if you've got a challenge that you want to use to help benefit the mental health of our society, which is massive for me, as you guys know a bit about my story, I'm using sport to do it. So what better way to help people that are struggling than through the medium of sport? And as everyone knows that's listening to this podcast, hence why I've got a podcast in the first place, that is something that is really important to me. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. So if you've got a challenge and you want to help out, please reach out. I can add you to the fundraiser. I can give you tips and tricks to help you with your training, with your planning, with anything like that. We can help you along the way. But before we get started in the podcast today, here's a quick message from our friends over at Soulmate.
We're Soulmate. Whether you're new to running or an experienced runner, we've got you covered for both road and trail, from shoes to nutrition to running poles and everything in between. Use code ADVENTURE10 both in-store or online for 10% off your order.
And now, enjoy the episode. What was your call to adventure?
I've thought about this, and I tried to come up with a good answer because I knew you were going to say it because I've listened to your podcasts. And the call to adventure I think I'm going to reference is being asked to do the Welsh Three Peaks for T Haven as part of a group, which was me, Pewey, Dan Jones, who's run with the Punks a couple of times, and John Gain. And we were, this was maybe 2000 and I want to say 18, so it was pre-COVID. And the call to adventure was us doing the Three Peaks, Welsh Three Peaks. I wasn't used to it, and Dan uses this as a funny story to describe how unprepared I was, especially compared to those guys who've done it before. I think they needed an extra person. Pewey called upon myself. I just said, yes, I'll do it. And we did it, and we did it really well, but it was ugly. And I think in that ugliness was some adventure, and we ended up training a little bit beforehand, but thereafter we carried it on. So I think that's a pivotal moment. That's something that sticks out, was that I felt as if I was literally called, right, you're in the team, we need 4 people, we got the job done, and it has progressed onwards from there. The trail running, the getting outside, the getting the fresh air, the exploring the new routes, and things like that. Definitely worthwhile doing. And we like to laugh about it. We look back at it and we just laugh about it. I mean, you must have done those routes before, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I guide them.
Yeah, of course
my
you
job.
do. Yeah. I bought a pair of shoes the day before. I bought a pair of trail shoes the day before, and I turned up at Snowdon with them in the box fresh. I'd never put them on.
I bet you had some blisters.
I grabbed a bag from the house, and the way it was sold to me was we're raising money for charity. Good, nice and easy. There's lots of groups. No one's racing. going to do it safely. We're going to start early, give us a good chance, and we're going to have a great weekend. We have a couple of beers, and I thought, you know what, that sounds good actually. Weekend away with the boys. No pressure. Focuses on raising money. So I thought, why wouldn't I say yes? And we had a driver as well, which made it even easier. No one had to drive, so one of the other guys from GE drove. And I thought, brilliant. Snacks, beers for the boys. 2 nights away, wicked. So packed all my stuff, met all the guys. We had a great sort of trip up in the minibus, tunes blaring, loads of banter, and we didn't really have a good night's sleep beforehand because you've got to be up at maybe 2:30, 3 for 4 o'clock start. And I'm taking the shoebox out of my bag, and I remember Dan looking at me like, "Are they new?" And I was like, "Yeah." Huh? When did you get them? I was like, "Last night." You got shoes last night? I was like, "Yeah, well, I'm not going to wear wellies. I haven't got any. I got road shoes. I'm not going to wear those up here." I mean, I wasn't running properly. I wasn't running compared to how I am now then. And he said, okay. And they were proper cheap daps. They were just the cheapest things I could buy and like go outdoors on the way. I can remember picking them up. And he said, what kit have you got? I was like, I got these old waterproof trousers, a shit waterproof, that was baggy on me. Didn't have thermals. I just had like t-shirt jumper and like a fleece I had from years ago. Mate, I was unprepared. I mean, when I consider stuff I've got now, collected over the years, I was unprepared. My bag had a bottle opener on the side, and I even brought beers for us to crack open at the top of Snowdon because that's how it was sold. I had like sandwiches, cakes, picnic. I was not going to starve on this trip. I had way too much stuff in there, but what I did was I brought others, like I brought extra for everyone else. We got up to, yeah, early, and they ripped me for it to this day because we got on the start of Snowdon, and Dan was sort of jumping on the spot and limbering up. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, right, boys, we got the second start, 4:05 in the morning. First team's going off now. Get a good start. We'll catch him up. I was like, hang on, what? Are we running? And he's like, yeah. I was like, no, what? We're going to run. I was told this is a walk. And he's there sort of like leaning over as if he's starting at 800 metres or something. Are you kidding me? You're taking the piss. He's like, no, come on, boys, let's go. And they weren't joking. We jogged. I mean, now I know that. But we jogged and walked and ran. I was considering life choices. I was like, what have I done? I was signed up to this. Got to top of Snowdon, did it pretty well. I think they were all shocked when I popped out these bottles. Used bottle opener. They're like, no time for beers. We're pegging it back down to get in the car. So we had the beers down at the bottom, I think, and then we had somebody driving like Formula One to Cad Idris. And even though you weren't timed on your cars, yeah, we've gone. We've gone. There's no downtime in the car. We're hanging on for dear life. But yeah, Cad Idris got up to sort of the midpoint where the lake is. I was done, and I got to the point there. I was like, this is shit. Hate it. What am I doing? This is rubbish. Stupid idea. Gone too fast. My head had gone, and I wasn't used to it. I wasn't conditioned, and I had to have 10 minutes to have a bit of a wobbly then. And I think a couple of the boys could see it, and they're like, "Get some food down. You get some energy. Have a gel," and then we got it done. Yeah, they lied to me about the summit, which I now know is a false summit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's by there. It's by there. We got there. It's over there. If I had more energy, you'd be having it.
They're just fucking sprinting off like, come on, can't catch us.
Yeah, and there's no pulling over. Once you're at the top and you're out and about places like that, you can't just say, do you know what? You can't walk off the pitch, can you? Or get out of the pool. You just can't do it. You are there.
Yeah, it's more effort getting back down.
Yep.
Might as well finish it.
Yep. And then Penavan just get it done. It wasn't too bad. But yeah, I think that was the eye opener the call to adventure, the eye opener. Discovered how unfit I was, and then I think when someone discovers a bit of a weakness or something like that, you've got two choices, haven't you? Just accept it and go and watch telly and go down the pub and fucking play darts or something, or do something about it. And I think we just carried on finding new trails, pulling people out and say, oh, come out for a bike, coming out for a cycle, or coming out for a run, coming down the beach, and just keep on doing that.
Yeah. So where's that sort of led you since? Because that was 2018. That's like
so it's a while ago. Yeah, so it's led me to a couple of things. I now have
just a couple.
Yeah, I have sore ankles. I have bad knees. I have tight
You're
hips.
a broken man.
Yeah, my shoulder hurts. I had to take it easy in swimming this morning because I got typical swimmer shoulder, or it's my mouse arm in work. So I don't know. It could be one of the two.
Both.
That mouse is tricky, but it's led me to doing a lot more things, a lot more trails, a lot more events. Anything in particular?
Just like the thing that I find interesting about you is like when I first met you at a punks run, like chatted briefly, not a lot, but everyone was like, people knew of me. Like, even though they didn't know me, they knew of me because I said I was doing the 6 and 6.
Right, yeah.
So, like, everyone was asking about that. So then other people would overhear and be like, oh, so what's this you're doing?
Yeah.
And then that was, like, my talking point. It was I'd talk about that. And, like, it sounds rude, but, like, you don't really ask that much. Well, I don't ask that much about others. Like, in group situations, like, I let other people do the talking, and then if they ask me, I just answer. And like, I'm really socially awkward. So then, like, people are, like, asking me stuff, and there's so many people, and they already know each other, so they're not really asking each other things, and then I'm just there, like, oh, yeah, so this is what I'm doing. They're like, oh, that's cool, and, like, really interested. So, like, the first few times I was running with you, like, it was a bit like that, where it was like, I don't actually know that much about you. And then it was just, like, you was then like, oh, I've done the 4:48, and I was like, oh, have you? Like, that's fucking cool. Like, I just finished it, and we were talking about it.
Yeah.
That was one of the talking points, is I was like, I've just finished 4:48, and you was like, oh yeah, like, I've done that. I was like, oh, cool. And then you said you did, like, the swimming version where you did, like, a mile on the hour.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck, he's done some cool things. But then, like, even since then, like, now that I know you quite well, and, like, we're quite good mates, every now and then you're just like, oh yeah, like, I've done this thing before, and I'm like, have you? When? You're like, oh, ages ago. Or you'll just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to Chamonix next week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you? Like, you just don't really talk about things. Whereas, like, because it's my business and whatnot, I have to. I'm like, oh, look at this big thing I'm doing, and, like, fundraising, but you don't really do that. You just fuck off, do something, and then you come back and it's like, oh yeah, I've just been away, guys. It's like, oh, where were you? Oh, I just did, like, UTS or something. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. How was it? So on that note, how was Chamonix? I know you didn't do the race, but
no, I didn't. Chamonix was amazing. I'm conscious maybe not to go on about it too much.
Oh no, go on about it. 100%.
Loved it. Started doing a couple of UTMB events 2 years ago, and I would love to do at minimum OCC in Chamonix. I've seen it on the internet, I've seen it on TV. I think it's inspiring. It's not everyone's cup of tea, and I know a lot of people are maybe not fond of UTMB as a business, but I look at some of that footage and I see people heading out into the mountains, and it gives me goosebumps, and I think, I think sometimes, heading out on some of our runs on a Wednesday night it can be a big deal in the winter, or heading up Snowdon, or heading up Penavon in horrible weather. And I see Chamonix and just mountain regions anyway, where you look up and up and up and up, and you're like, we'll go up there. It's tall enough that they need cable cars to go up there. Sometimes I still can't believe how people do it. and I'd love to do an event of that size, and just be part of the crowd on the day. I got a couple of stones. It's not enough stones, obviously, because the stones didn't really work in my favour this year. But I got enough to ballot for OCC. I didn't get in, but I thought, you know what, let's just go over there, see what it's like, see what it's about, turn it into a family holiday now. And it's in school holidays, so it's the end of August. So I managed to get accommodation right on the start-finish line of a UTMB. And I thought, I can't let this go. We'll just make a week of it in France. So it went really, really well. The weather was, for the most part, great. I know for race conditions on one of the evenings, I think it was maybe like Thursday, Friday night, we had thunderstorms. So the guys were out in the thunder and the hail, and they had snow up at the top, which was, it must have been tough. I've heard of a lot of people saying that they've never seen so many people rely on their waterproof trousers and their thermals. We obviously didn't see that because we're down at ground layer, but there was a whole buzz around town. And a good buzz as well. There was, I think, the trail running scene. A lot of people look out for each other. I've heard it on the podcast before. People will help each other. It's not all about the speed and how fast you can do something. I know for some people it is, but for the majority of people, it's about, good friendships, making good memories, and accomplishment, getting a task done, going from A to B. It's doing that A to B. And that vibe was definitely around town. There's lots of people sort of meeting and greeting, and companies mixing with people, and people showcasing products, and general good vibe, even for the family. I mean, there was lots of things for the kids to do, so they were happy. But there was lots of shakeout runs. There was lots of product demos that weren't too geeky. There was lots of like free coffees, free breakfast. Come and meet here, and then the energy around that start-finish line was buzzing, especially when people started to come in from the races. I would recommend it to anyone. Like I said, obviously it's a biased opinion, and not everyone's going to like it, but I don't know if I'm going to see a bigger event ever.
Yeah, you can't get much bigger than UTMB.
God, the bell was going. Where the finish line is, and you can see the church just behind it. You can see the church on the south side. Where we were staying, you can see the church from the east side. There was a building in between us, and seeing that finish line. But you could hear all the music again and again and again, and the announcements and people coming through. And I was dot watching on my phone. I was thinking, they're coming in 2 minutes. So I'd nip out and go by the finish line. Seen Chelsea at the finish line.
Yeah, I did see the picture.
Which is crazy to think. Go to a different country, tens of thousands of people, and then you bump into someone. Oh, hi. Bumped into a few people that week.
Did you?
Yeah, bumped into a few. Well, the first day we got there was wearing my Run for Adventure top. Off to go and find where the swimming pool was for the kids. And then Lloyd and Liga from Run for Adventure ran past me. I was like, whoa, hang on. Yeah, I've got the top. And caught up with them for a couple of minutes, had a picture. Great people, love the channel. Every time something happens along the Run for Adventure line, I always get a message from Andy Simmons as well. So because we talked about it, and it's like a coincidence I bump into them, and he always messaged me on the side like, oh, friends.
No, it looked wicked, like just following your Strava more than anything. Just seeing the different, like, oh yeah, shoe demo, like, check this out, and
I thought
just the views and everything.
It's class. I thought it was, but again, I'm going to big it up. We had a great time. I went on the normal shakeout run and shoe demo, so I was testing their new shoes and seeing what they were like. Again, I probably never got to do that. And free coffee and breakfast after, so banging. And it's done early in the morning, so I can get out early, go and do that, and then come back and have a double breakfast with the family. The Run for Adventure Innovate shakeout, went and tested their shoes out, went to Moody's for coffee after, and they're big groups as well. We're talking over 100 people in this. Made some friends on both the shakeout runs, and strangely enough, you just bump into them throughout the week. And Em's saying, "Oh, who's that?" It's, shake it up, run on. Who was that? Oh, we had coffee the other morning. It's almost like I was leading 2 lives, like 2 holidays. And she's like, do you know them from back home? I was like, no, not at all. They're doing the event on Friday. We were just talking this morning, but Hoka were giving out shoes for 24 hours, so tested them a Fatty 5 out, and ended up doing that vertical kilometre. Do you see that? The Chamonix vertical kilometre, so it's just a zigzag up to the top, a little bit of rock climbing. You would have liked that, getting your fingers in the hooks, in the cracks, and pulling yourself up. Shoes did really well on that, and then I probably wouldn't have wanted to come back down that route, so took a nice big swoop in trail back down. I thought, if I'm not racing, I gotta do something.
Yeah,
I gotta do something. So I get out early every morning, go and find some new trails, of which there was plenty. I'd love to go back just on a training weekend and just say, right, 3 days, drink loads of coffee, eat loads of pastries, and then run the trails, and then beer home. Just 4 things. That's it.
yeah. What more do you need?
That's it.
Simple life, innit?
And I found it easier. I found it easier to get more elevation in. I think because the mountains were so high. I felt as if I was going only up a little parts, but then I was ticking off maybe double what I normally do, because I didn't feel like I had to go to the top every time. And there was just so many trails, so many things to see. I was looking at routing the nights before, and I thought, I could go there, I could go up to there, and it was really easy to do. Yeah, brilliant. I love the place. Been there once,
Yeah,
but I do like the Alps. I like the mountains. They're so different to what we got here. They're huge, and there's just so much to do. I feel as if I could go there every year, and there'd still be something new to do. I can see why the event is there.
yeah,
It was always destined to have an event there. It's just ideal. And it's cool when something like that draws people from all over the world. All over the world. You've got people coming from every country to come and do one thing. And I think when people gravitate, it's like, I guess, it's as close as you can get to Commonwealth Games or Olympics or something, isn't it?
yeah. No, that makes sense, actually. It is that sort of scale
And everyone's...
event.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying, like, UTMB, like, it is that sort of... I guess this is why people hate it as well, but it's like that commercialised sort of side of trail running where it's like, this is a big competition. Like, that's it. Like, it is very elitist in a way, but, like, that's the gap in the market for trail running. They filled that and done a fucking good job of it.
They've obviously done a good job. When we're walking around town and you see people with their flags, and you're just flag watching, you say, Spain, France, Germany, Australia, wow, you've come a long way. And there's people come from Canada and the States and Japan, lots of people come from lots of Japanese flags, and we think, we've only popped across English Channel to come to Europe, just a 1-hour flight from London to Geneva. These people have taken multiple flights. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow. I was chatting to a girl who's doing UTMB. She came from the Arctic Circle. She's a scientist up on the Arctic Circle, and she's just gone home now. We followed each other on Strava, and she was explaining to me where she was from. I was like, I don't really know where that is. Like, and then I saw one of her runs the other day. I was like, whoa, that's like, you're quite close to the North Pole up there. Big journey. Must mean a lot. And I think on that start line, when the start line turned into like just filling any space available in the village, or especially behind, and the people who are racing, they're at the front, and everyone else is just like, oh boy, survive. And that gives me goosebumps as well, because there's a lot of people there that they don't even know if they're going to finish it. There was a lot of DNFs this year, but to go on that start line thinking, I might make it, that to me is a bit heroic.
Yeah.
I'm going to put myself in danger, because it is, for some people it would be. The conditions were horrible when they got to the night time. It was cold, it was windy, it was icy, and a lot of people DNF'd. There was a lot of people saying it was the harshest weather they had, and they just people sending themselves out for 7 miles.
It's just, I find it funny. I've been thinking about it a lot because in South Wales, like, it's such a small community of us that are trail running. Like, everyone knows everyone pretty much. It's how I've made the podcast grow, is because I've just tapped into trail runners, and I'm like, I'll just have a few more on, and then I know everyone. But like, we look at our events and we're like, fuck, Pona, that's a wild horse, that's like top tier. And then you compare it to something like that, and it's like, oh, like, not really that big a deal here. Like,
I think they are. I don't know too much about the.
It's still like big events and whatnot.
They're huge events, yeah, and I can't comment. I'm not going to say I can, right? I can't, because I haven't done any of them. But I still think of you guys that go out for hundreds. I mean, I haven't done 100. It's a different league. I can't comprehend. So is to go on a start line.
100 miles is 100 miles.
It's a beast, and a 200 as well.
But like, we just see it as like, these are the biggest events ever. Like,
yeah.
Especially like Pegasus, we're like, fucking hell, like Pegasus events, they're massive. And then you look at like all the international events, and it's like, we're still very small scale in South Wales. Not taken away from the achievements, because 100 miles, fucking hell. Like, I haven't done a 100 miler yet. Like, everyone's like, oh, you did your 6. I'm like, that's not a 100 miler though. That's.
Then you got 3 in 3 days coming up.
Yeah, I know. I'm bricking it, mate. I'm honestly bricking it. Don't know why I signed up. Regret saying I'll do it. Might delete the Instagram post. Be like, yeah, that didn't happen. What are you guys on about? Never said that. But yeah, it's just, I'm not taking anything away from it. It's still a massive deal. 200, especially like Wild Horse. Props to anyone doing Wild Horse. Props to anyone doing any 100 miler ever. Like, even the one I said about in that picture, the Mumbles Ton promenade, back and forth 100 miles. Fucking boring, but it's 100 miles.
It is. And I can't, for the record, I can't comment because I've never done a 100 mile. I'm not going to compare. I haven't even done any Pegasus events. I only did the Ridden with you. It wasn't.
That was the full Pegasus experience now. Well, getting to
I think it was a different
walk with me for like 15 hours.
I think if we go through the notes later, a lot of people confirm it's not the normal experience they normally get on race day. But look, I went to France. It was a brilliant week. It was great to see competition. Great to bump into people. And yeah, we had a great time. I'd love to go again. I think I've missed a boat for accommodation next year because it's really expensive. But I was there as a spectator, so I can't even comment on the racing. And I just think it's great that there's I think it's great that there's events like that, and we got the ones in Wales and over the UK that people can get involved in. They're all different. They all got their different challenges, haven't they?
Yeah.
They've all got them. No 2 events are going to be the same. So, and because it's trail running, it's all dependent with the weather. It's not like I go to the pool in the morning. Weather doesn't affect it at all. It could be winter, summer, night or day. Conditions are always the same. That pool, if I'm in the lane, is always the same. So I can bank on the conditions, but no 2 days are the same out on the trails. I think that's what's so cool about it, because you never know what you're going to face.
That's a good point saying about conditions, actually, because I always think, like, imagine like Courtney DeWalter or someone coming over and doing one of our events. Like, she'd fucking blitz it. Like, she would just demolish everyone. But then you think, like, oh, she's, from what I've seen of her, she's used to like the warmer conditions.
Exactly. You
never know. Stick her on Wild Horse and it's fucking miserable for a week.
It might break her.
Yeah, she can.
There might be bog after bog after bog, and
she's just gonna be like, "Fuck this."
Welsh bogs.
Yeah.
And we're trundling through, like, squelching with our daps full of brown water and moss stinking. So what the hell is
loving
this?
life?
Yeah.
Like, jumping in all the puddles. Everyone's just, all the Americans are just looking at us like fucking Englishmen.
Yeah, skipping along, giving an MMI rating for each type of bog. But they're all different. But I loved the week out there. It was class. I'd go again. Hopefully I get to race it one day. Hopefully I get to finish it one day. and then I can quit running.
Valid. I've been. This sounds. People are gonna hate this that I haven't already spoken to about it. I've been talking about quitting running.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I know I've just signed up for the 300 milers, but it's just like I think this comes out a lot in Rich's podcast as well, where it's like running isn't the be all and end all for me. Like this podcast isn't a running podcast.
I thought you said it was.
Everyone assumes that because I have a lot of runners on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not that into running, as weird as that sounds. I don't feel like I've learned enough about running yet, which is why I'm still interested in being like, I can push more here. But as soon as I like plateau, even though I know that like you plateau in everything, like you get to a point, you get beginner gains for like a year or two, plateaus, and then it's like those incremental gains over years to be great at something. And I'm just like, that doesn't sound fun. Get me to that plateau, get me above average, and then I'm going to fuck off and do something else and start again. Yeah. I like that learning. I like that constant progress. That's why I started taking running seriously this year. I'm like, I could like do quite well at this for a while. And then I'm going to hit a point and I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm done. What's next?
It sounds similar to you. Sound similar to me. Like, I feel as if I can pick things up pretty easily to a reasonable level. Like jack of all trades, master of none.
But better than master of one.
Yeah. And then you get to a point where you plateau and you either stick with it or you take time out or you go and do something else. I don't know, is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I quite like it.
I think it's very individual because like I always used to hate it because I was like, I really want to be elite at something. I want to stick with something and I want to get to that top tier. I want to like Commonwealths and things like that. And I'm like, I see it as so like getting to the Commonwealths, I believe like most people could do in most sports. I don't think that's the sort of level where obviously you'll get the people that are like naturally gifted. They'll get there quite easy. Comparatively, it's still a fucking lot of work. But I think if anyone works hard enough and is dedicated enough, they could probably get to the Commonwealths for a lot of things. Shit ton of sacrifice, but it's achievable. When you start getting to Olympics, that's then like you've got to be fucking like best of the best to get that. And I always used to beat myself up being like, fuck, why can't I get that good at things? But it's just because I get bored and then I just want to do something else. And now I don't see anything wrong with that. I'm like, well, that's fine. That's what I've built my business around. And I like the fact that like I did Olympic weightlifting and I started like competing at that and I was getting pretty good. And then I was surrounded by Commonwealth athletes who have been doing it for years, like their whole lives. And I was in the right environment to get really good at it. Yeah. And if I stuck with it, like I know eventually I probably could have got up to like a decent level.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, oh yeah, but like I want to go rock climbing. And I was like, how many of these guys can go rock climbing? They probably could give it a go, but they wouldn't be that good at it. And then I was like, oh, now I want to do ultras. Like, how many of them can run ultras?
It's going to be hard.
Yeah.
That's going to be a tough gig.
And it's just like, there's so many things that, like, because I've got to that level where I've surrounded myself with the best people in so many sports.
Yeah.
And then I've got into a different sport. And at first, everyone's like, what are you doing? You're doing really well at this. And I'm like, but can you do all these other things that I can do? No. And I'm like, I'd rather be that guy that can just rock up and be like, I'm going to run an ultra today and then tomorrow I'm going to go rock climbing and like be good at it. And cool. I can then go and compete in Olympic lifting if I want. I'm not going to win. I'm going to show up and put a decent effort in. That's how I see it. It was like when I did my first ultra, came dead last. And my justification in my head was like, how many of them did a strongman competition 2 weeks ago? None of them.
It's going from session to session.
Yeah, and it's just more fun. Yeah. And that's what Adventure Athletes is. This is why Plod loves it. Because he's the same. He's like, I want to just do everything. And I'm like, you're in the fucking right place.
He's out fighting bears at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah.
I seen his update earlier. Well, I saw the event update, which said that one of the checkpoints they spotted bears. So have you seen that?
Yeah,
so they had to reroute. And then the next one I saw was him stood in the woods, like part of Blair Witch Project 4, saying that his watch had died and his
phone
had died and his torch was on a blink and he got lost, and it's the way he's just staring at the camera. I was like, hang on,
he's seen some things.
he's seen some things. And
Oh, mate, that man.
And he's still going now,
Yeah.
in fairness, and he's doing it with a smile on his face. Like,
He's
brilliant.
incredible. I fucking love Dan. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the next update, the bear's running with him. Yeah.
He's just got them all drunk and he's just running with them, shouting,
There's
Wales!
3 of them now.
Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if I saw that. If I saw Dan had domesticated a bear, I would be like, yeah, that's on brand. That's Dan. I would not be shocked at all. He's mental. I love him. Let's get back to you and your challenges.
Right,
What are some other things that you've done? Because, like I
So-
said, you've done like 4:48. You did that swimming one.
Yes.
Can't get my head around that.
So I listened to some of the other podcasts where you said you struggled with swimming, and I grew up as a swimmer. I grew up swimming, I think, from as young as like my kids are now, and I've got them in the pool. I was in the pool from maybe 5, 6 onwards, and I think I did a lot of swimming, and now it feels as if it became natural. It was very natural. It probably wasn't when I was younger, but I jump in the water now, and I feel it's strange because I feel I'm a better swimmer than a runner, but I'm trying to run more to be a better runner. I like blending the two together. So I did a lot of swimming when I was a kid, and especially up to 19. I think I swam. That was my strength. Where I was swimming for Bridgend County mornings and nights, and doing a lot of hours. And I think I peaked just before I went to uni. But and then I went to uni and then just all sort of fell away. So the focus then was on completing the course. It wasn't sport orientated, so I didn't do much sport, and it was like goals changed. But I picked swimming up only recently, and I feel as if, even though I've had a big chunk of my life out, I got back in the pool and I built my fitness right back up to where I was when I was 19. And so I feel pretty strong. Even though I'm not training for any events, I'm swimming with old friends. It's great to catch up. It's one of the best workouts I can get for my lungs. I work my lungs in the pool far much more than on a run. Even if I'm in zone 4 or 5 on a run, there's nothing that's going to get closer to me gasping for air, when you're underwater. But I do like it, and I think with all the running as well, jumping in the pool is a great opportunity to let my legs just float. The legs they're moving, the blood's pumping, they're floating behind me, tumble, and just get that little spring every now and again. And it gives my arms something to do. So it feels like I think the two complement each other. Running sort of bottom half mainly, and then jump in the pool, swim with your arms. But I seem to chop and change. When I was in my teens, I did a lot of. I was involved in surf life saving. So have you heard of that sport, like lifeguards and surf life saving on the beach? Swimming in the winter, on the beach in the summer, and I managed to make the Welsh team when I was 14. So I got my first Welsh cap when I was 14 in surf life saving, and when I look back, I look so young, and I was like, how did I do that? And I was quite fast at sprinting, so my swimming didn't get me that far there, but I managed to get away by being a fast runner. There's a handful of events in the pool, and then on the beach there's a handful of beach orientated events and sea orientated events. And at that age I was a bit of an all-rounder, but I excelled at the beach sprint, which is literally like 100 metres on the sand. And I did well, and I got picked for the team because of that, I think, and another event called Beach Flags. Have you ever seen that? It's an agility event. It's a knockout event where people lie down on the sand, and then a gun goes and you have a quick turn, a 20-metre sprint, and you grab a piece of tube, and it's a knockout event. So it's a lot of like interval runs, I guess. If you start with 16 people, you've got 15 runs to the winner. You should watch some online. I have to send you some videos because it's short, sharp, and fast. And I was pretty good at that. So I made the Welsh team for that. And then my first into regionals, I did pretty well. I won the flags, and I can't remember what I came in sprint, but I think I did okay. And then I made it. It was brilliant first year, and then I made the Welsh team a couple other years after that. So I felt as if I'm not doing too bad here. You know, I move up in age groups. I can still take on some of the older guys, and as long as I stay fast on the sand, I could squeeze in a team. And it happened a couple of years. And this is where sprinting came. It sort of snuck in because that was the only way I was going to make the team. There's guys that are much better swimmers than me, but I could sneak in on a sprint. So I trained sprint, and I just did weights for the legs. I did short, sharp, sort of reaction runs and focusing on seconds, track work, field work, beach work. And I think I made a few more Welsh teams after that, like from when I was 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah. And at that point, I started to do a little bit of travelling. And I went to a World Champs. The first World Champs I went to was in Italy in 2004, showing how old I am now. And I went out with our local club, and that was an eye-opener. I think, in some respects, going to Chamonix was me just copying what I did when we went to World Champs in 2004. Because it's a big event, you're not really sure what to expect. You get there, you're like, wow, this is a big deal. You know, it's much bigger than some of the events I do in Wales or in England or the UK. And it's like, oh, okay. And then you see the competition, and they're rapid. And you're like, whoa, I've never seen you people before because you're not from where I'm normally from. So you get the different countries coming in. And that's like the light bulb moment. Okay, I need to do more. If I want to compete with these guys, I got to do a bit more than I'm used to doing. Maybe I'm getting away easier home. So in the events that I did back in 2004, I made quarterfinals, and that was it. It inspired me a little bit. And I thought, if I ever go back, I want to do a bit better. And that just a bit better than I did last time. I think the focus is always on me.
Yeah.
I'd like to do better than I did. And then we went to World Champs in Australia in 2006. Similar thing happened there. I did slightly better, not much at all. And the guys were very good. That was when I went to uni there after. I had a big gap out. And a couple of weeks before, there was a place going in World Champs 2008 in Germany. And I went out just for a laugh. Went out, go and support friends, just go and watch competition. And I felt FOMO. I was thinking, this is the third one I've been to now. I know the score, I know the standard. I want to have a crack at this now. Like, I'm not fit. I've been through uni. I'm in my last year. I'm coming to the end of that. But I want to try and do something about it.
Yeah.
And I got training then, and I thought, the only way I'm going to do this is if I make the British team. So I just focused on that. I focused on the GB rankings. I focused on who I've got to beat, what time I've got to make, tapering maybe properly, I guess. And the 2010 World Champs was in Alexandria in Egypt. And I made the team. I made the British team for that. And I was over the moon. I was British champion on the beach for beach sprint. I don't know if that's the thing I can, trying to describe it to guys in work. It's like, what do you do? You run on the sand, is it? Oh, you do some like games on the sand. It's like, if you could see the videos, I think it comes across a lot better in like some of the big competitions when they film it really nice. But I won sprint, and I'm pretty sure I won flags that year to get picked for the team. It was the first time in a British team. Was well chuffed. Went to Egypt, and I know the competition's big, and I'm thinking, I made quarterfinals. I'm pretty sure I can do that. I made semis in Australia. Let's see if I can repeat that. And it was a long, hot day. Well, these things are held over sort of 4 or 5 days. You got 2 days at the pool, and then 3 days on the beach. And I remember for sprints, we had 5 sprints. We had heats, we had second rounds, quarters, semis, and finals. And somebody told me that your semi is your final. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
You don't take it easy in the semi because
you want to get to the final.
Because you want to get to final. So, done the heats. Okay, got through. Wicked. Done the quarters. I was chilling. Second round was chilling. Got to quarters. I was like, I've got to put some gas on here maybe. So, come out the blocks, and I wasn't first out. And I thought, oh, hang on a minute. Boom, 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 boom. Got through it. Semis. I was like, I'm psyched. I'm in the semis now. All I got to do is top 4. I went flat out in the semis, and I think I got second. And I was like, oh, I can't believe it. I'm through to finals now. I was like, whoa, do I phone home now? And just, I was psyched. I was so happy. And I think there was about an hour. I thought, right, got to get some fluid in me. Got to have maybe something to eat, a tiny little bit, maybe some sweets, just something fast in the system. Got to stay in the shade. Don't get too excited. Don't get too happy. And the finals got called up, and when the lineup stood up, I was like, I know some of these guys, man. I've seen these guys on YouTube, on reruns. There were some big runners there that I had friends who knew who they were. What am I doing on this line? This is typical imposter syndrome. Went down into blocks, gun went off. I reacted really well, and I got a photo just as people had risen out the blocks, and I was right up with everyone. I had a great start. I had a great 10 metres. As my head came up, I was like, I can't see anyone. This must be going well. Just get to the end. And I came in third. So not only did I make a team, which I wanted to go for, I managed to get a podium place at World Champs. And if lining up was an imposter syndrome, standing on the podium definitely was. Oh, what am I doing here? Huh? Dressed in a Union Jack flag. Yeah, absolutely. And as I was getting towards the finish, I had friends also in the team. They couldn't believe it. And I could feel their energy, like they were cheering me in disbelief. And I was, oh, come on, and chanting and swearing and stuff like that. And just, I was like, am I doing well? I came through the light gates, and the judges came through, and it was really close. I know South Africa came in first, then Australia, and then me and a New Zealander, and the New Zealander Paul Krakoff-Wilson is a renowned, amazing athlete. He's won things time and time again. There's no reason I should have beaten him, but just on the day I did, and yeah, amazing. The other events, I made finals, but that one event, and really, really good experience. So my background, you've seen me trying to do ultra runs. I say trying because I'm trying to do long distance stuff. But
you're doing well at it.
Do you know? But I trained in really short, 10 seconds worth of sprinting, and this is why I find it hard doing the longer stuff, is because my focus was always on trying to nip 11 seconds for 100, trying to nip 7 seconds for 60 meters. Getting bang straight out of the blocks. Keep your head down and just run and absolutely batter it as much as you could, and then try and hold on to it rather than going out for 5 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours with you. It's so unnatural.
Yeah, that was a long day though. That's not like usual, that 15 hours
no,
for that, but...
No, but I'll come on to that in a minute. But from the lifeguards thing, I came back and I was absolutely buzzing off that. And I thought Australian Nationals is as big or if bigger than Worlds. It's a huge sport over in Oz and New Zealand. I thought I want to go to Aussies. I had some friends out there, so I thought off the back of having a really good out of nowhere World Champs, I've got to go to Aussies and go and race in the Opens. 2 weeks before, I trained all winter. 2 weeks before I went to Aussies, I found out I had cancer, and I never went.
Fuck.
And it all get taken away from you. it's all gone like that. So built the fitness off the back of a really great run, had a wicked goal lined up, going out there to go and demonstrate like I could do well or take on some of the other guys, go and hit a final. And it was, I was going out for a month and then it was just taken away like that. The year's changed and now you've got to focus on getting through the year. So that was a focus then. Got through that and then managed to make it to World Champs 2012 in Adelaide. So I got through like what was a tough year, where I couldn't even, you know how you were walking after you finished your 66? That's how I was walking after I had treatment and everything towards the end of, 2011. So I found it hard to go and walk around my normal school run. I was knackered, I was drained of energy. And I thought, it's not going to have me, right? This is going to take a back seat now because I'm going to start training again. I'm going to start eating properly again. And I go back into the trials. Muscle memory must have still been there. Started sprinting, gradually got better and better. I made the team again. I made the GB team again and went out to Adelaide in 2012. Raced, made finals, just missed out on podium. But I think that recovery was everything I could have hoped for against a personal challenge. And I think that's where I peaked in lifeguards. I think that's the point. I think after going through what I did that year and then being able to come back, age wasn't on my side as well, getting older. It just turned into a really nice social after that. I went to 2014 World Champs, had an amazing party. It was, didn't do any racing, had great evenings out there. And that's the last one I've been to because they've been a little bit too far. But I had quite a nice run of going to really big international competitions, every 2 years from 2004 to 2014. And I think that's what I appreciate, going out to Chamonix and you see, boom, tens of thousands of people. It probably reminds me of going out to the older competitions. And to some degree, it's the right type of energy. It gets me worked up. It gets me primed, ready to go. Sometimes I can't get the energy or can't get the... Because I've experienced some big events where there's a lot of pressure, a lot of focus, a lot of people watching, a lot of people surrounding you, that energy, that buzz.
Yeah.
I can't get going unless I sort of see it again. I think when we were out in Chamonix, I felt as if I should have been racing because I've been in those situations a lot before.
It's funny how different people respond to that pressure differently. Like, I've seen this through coaching gymnastics and having like some pretty elite kids.
Yeah.
And you watch some of the kids and in training, you're like smacking your head against the wall being like, I cannot get you to put any effort in. Like, you just don't seem to care.
Yeah.
And it's so hard coaching them because it's like, you're so good, like, just put some fucking effort in. And then you see them in competition and they just switch. And it's like, oh shit, like...
You need a little bit of pressure just to get going.
They just need that atmosphere, that buzz, that little bit of like, I got to do well here. And that's what gets them going. And then you get the other ones where they train perfectly, like everything is so precise. And you put them in that competition and that you can see the cracks.
Right, yeah.
And it's like, as soon as something goes wrong and they fall apart,
yeah,
it's just like, oh fuck, like that's competition done. And I love seeing like, it just fascinates me, like that difference between people. And like, you just seem like one of those where it's like, you need that.
A little bit. It's either like that external pressure where you got the atmosphere, the buzzy energy, or an internal drive where sometimes it's just like, I can go out on my own. It's like, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get it done because, and that's the reason why. And it's at night. There's no one else around. No one gives a fuck, but I'm going to get this done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it changes, or maybe some scenarios different to others.
But it's just like, it's that pressure, like, despite whether it's internal or external, to have like that performance. You need that.
You need a little
pressure.
bit. Yeah.
Whereas I don't think I've never really competed in front of like that in that sort of environment, in that sort of sport. Like I've competed in free running, I've done a bit of like Olympic lifting, but it's all like free running wasn't big when I was competing in it. Like I did travel and compete, and I did quite well. There's never really a crowd. It's just like you're in like fucking fluidity or something.
Yeah.
You got like the other competitors and like maybe some kids being like, oh wow, this is fucking cool.
Yeah.
But it's never like a massive thing, or it wasn't when I was doing it. Or like, trail running is like, you might have a little bit, like not like UTMB, but like you got like a bit at the start and there's a bit of a buzz, and it's like, and like I went to the finish line of Epona this year, and Nathan Hutton coming in, and it's like me, Jenks, Joanna and Reese just standing in a park like, woo!
It can be, can it? It can be.
And it's just like, it's such like a lonely place, and it's just like, I don't know how I would respond in like a big sort of competition like that. I don't know how I'd cope with the pressure. Honestly, I don't think I would. But you give me like a personal challenge where it's like, right, we'll meet us at Park Penalta, and you're on day 6 of your ultras, like get it done, and I'm like, fuck, okay,
they
are
different. They are different.
It's just that difference in mentality, and I love seeing other people, because I don't understand it because I've never been there.
Right,
I find that fascinating, and it's like, oh, I wonder what it's like to be like that. And then I've got so many like,
it's probably not good long term. It's probably not good when you've got a crowd watching you, and then there's silence, and then you're waiting for a gun blast. It can't be good long term for your nerves and stuff like that.
No, but it's just, I love performance, and I love how different people respond to different things, and learning how to control that as well. Because that's a lot of pressure to be putting on yourself. Like I put myself under a lot of pressure to do these things anyway, and it's like, imagine I had like other people putting pressure on me. Like, how the fuck would I cope with that? What would I do? Like, what systems do you have in place to make that okay? Like, I don't know. Like, what do you do in those situations where it's like all or nothing?
It's just focus on just one more. If you've got 5, like I was saying with sprinting, if you've got 5 rounds, it's just think about one race at a time. I can't think about the others. The others might never even come. Just for like, think about that one, and then you get that one done. Okay, how'd that go? How much energy you got left? And the next one, and that's how I try to think about like each 5K in an ultra. Just get 5 done, and another, and another.
I can't remember who I was talking to about this, but I found it fascinating because like, there are people that break down ultras into how many park runs have I got left, rather than being like, oh, I've got 50k to run. Like, that's overwhelming. They're like, I got 10 park runs to run. Like, that sounds manageable. That doesn't make sense in my head.
No, it doesn't. I know.
And I'm just like, what 10 park runs? That sounds worse than 150k. And like, the way I work is I'm like, right, for the first half of whatever race it is, say it's a 50k, I will count up to 25.
Yeah.
And then I will count down from 25.
Okay, yeah.
I get halfway and I'm like, I can start counting down now.
Yeah,
and that mental switch is like, I'm going down.
Yeah.
Like, going up, it's like, oh, this is building. Like, this is exciting. You get to 20, you're like, oh, I'm almost at 25. And it's like, okay, like, this is going well. Then you get to the 25, you're like, I can start counting down now. And it's like,
I know what you mean. Yeah,
it's fresh. And then you get down and you're like, single digits now. Like, oh, come on. And other people are like, 2 more park runs. I'm like, fuck park runs. Like, I'm in single digits.
If I don't finish this, there's something gone really wrong. If you get to like 7k from the end and you can't finish it, it's bad times. You could crawl that.
Yeah.
Or you could just lie down and roll it in. Can you?
I mean, you've seen how I deal with like that last bit.
Yeah.
It's like, I was broken at the start, let alone at the finish. That was a big switch for me as well. Doing those, well, it was 70 miles since I tore my ligament, and I was just like, then like what I was saying to you when I went back and did the rhythm, and I was just like 10k out, and I was like, fucking this, I'm done. And then I'm like, fuck you on about, like, you did this 5 weeks ago and you was fucked. Like, this is nothing. Crack on running, Will. I was like, all right.
So people know how tough you are now. They're not going to ease up.
Yeah, if they saw me walking, they'll be like, fucking hell, who's this person?
Oh,
Like,
mate. When I seen you getting out of the car on that, was it a Sunday?
yeah.
You look like a zombie. It looked like you just done hair and makeup to go on scene for a horror movie. The door opened. It might as well have had like smoke coming out. And you turned to the side. You couldn't lift your leg up. And when I was over there and when I was over there, I was like, mate, he's in a bad way. And Rose was like, I don't think I'll go fast today. Just get him through it. And I was like, oh, yeah, right, yeah. I'm happy with that. Now, if you'd have pelted it off, I'd have been worried then. If you
That was me at Edam though, because like we stayed at accommodation for Edam on the Saturday before I'd torn the ligament, but like I was still 4 ultras deep, so I was still like hurting.
Yeah.
And I was having to come down the stairs sideways. Like, it's the first time I've actually had to turn sideways to come down the stairs. Like, I've done one stair.
It's called the French step, isn't it? I think so, yeah.
And I, oh my God, people were like looking at me coming down the stairs, being like, yep, no, he's fucked. And then get to the start line, and like my parents were camping at the campsite, so they're already there, and I'd already told them like, I'm on my way, can I have a bacon sarnie?
Yeah.
So they've like cooked me a bacon sarnie. Everyone else is doing race registration.
Yeah.
I just walk past them all and I'm like, I'm getting my fucking bacon. So then I like come back with like my bacon sarnie. Everyone stood there chatting. I'm fucking limping, and everyone's like, oh yeah, he's fucked. And they're like, yeah, like if you beat me today, I'm quitting running.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, yeah, I am pretty fucked, aren't I? Like, it'll be embarrassing. And then I'm at the start line. I've got my race pack on. We're all standing there. Fucking go. Boom, first place. I sprinted down that hill. Everyone's like, what the fuck is this?
Full Goggins about you.
Well, but I was like, I've still got it in me to run. I'm hurting.
Yeah.
But like...
See,
and I was like, it's a downhill. I was like, I love a downhill. And I was like, I'll just be the first down to the bottom of the hill. And I get to the bottom and then it goes up a hill. And I was just like, I want to hold this now. So like, I'm just fucking pelting it. And then when people do start going past me, like my mate Ryan went past me and he was like, I was chatting with someone and I was like, who's that out in front? They're like, it's Will. He was like, it can't be Will. Like, don't be ridiculous. And then he gets past and he was like, it fucking is you. And I was like, yeah, no, I was out in front, mate. And then, like, people start going past. Like, we get, like, 1K in. So I led for the first K. And it gets to this gate. And Risa told me at the bottom of the hill, like, once you get to the gate, you're in first. Like, open it. Leave it open for everyone else.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I get to the gate and I just open it and I just let people pass. I was like, yeah, fucking crack on. Like, you're racing this. I wanted a heroic start.
Yeah.
And then it's, like, rolling hills, but like the hills are like quite steep, so like, but you could see them from like quite a way back. And I kept looking ahead and I could see the people that I'd recognized that had overtaken me, like Joe and Andy. They were running together and George was with me at this point, and I was like, they're walking the hills, let's fucking have them. So then we're like 400 meters back and seeing them walking, and then George is just like, Will, like, can we slow down a bit? And I'm like, I'm having a minute. And I just start overtaking people again. So by the first checkpoint, me and George come in and we're like top 10. And that, like, we've started off strong, let everyone overtake us, overtaken them again, kept running, and then people are just like, what the fuck is this guy? Them. And then my ligament goes. And then I was sat in a ditch crying and everyone's overtaken, being like, is he okay? And George is like, yeah, he's fine, just even be. And I'm just there being like, fucking hell, I've got 70 miles to go. It was just rough. And then I'm just like, all right, there was a bit where I stood there leaning on my poles crying. And I just look up at George and I literally said, like, because I thought I was done for a bit. He thought he was done. And like, I was in full on tears, and I just look up and I just go, 70 miles to go. And he's just like, what? I was like, I've got 70 more miles before the 6 is complete. And he was like, fucking let's go. I just cracked on. And yeah, like, there's just that switch there that is just like, fuck.
It just shows you what you got.
Yeah.
When you think you haven't got any more. Yeah.
But I'm still fascinated by that, and I'm like, where does that come from? How can you push through that?
Hmm.
And then I think of like you and what you were saying a minute ago of like you was performing well, and then you get hit with something like cancer,
Hmm.
and it's like, how do you like get through that mentally?
You just don't let it win, because I don't know, but I know that I just wasn't prepared to let it stop me in my tracks. It's just because something like that hits you, it doesn't mean that it's going to be permanent. I mean, in some cases it is, but I think it's just by being just literally, I know it sounds bloody cliche, but just not giving up, not letting it have the satisfaction of stripping you of something good.
Do you think that's giving you like another layer mentally to like push through these challenges and stuff?
It must do. It must do, because there's first of all, getting told is a big deal. I think anyone being told something like that is a big deal. I was quite shocked at how fast I was told it. Found a lump, went to the doctors. Doctor didn't really seem to think it was anything to be concerned about. And I said, well, I'm going away in like sort of 3 weeks for a month. I'm going away for sport. It's going to play on my mind. So if I don't get it checked out, I'm just going to be thinking about it, and I don't want to be thinking about it. So I thought, let's tick all the boxes, leave no stone unturned, and go and get the thumbs up from the doctor. Say, yeah, nothing, no problems, nothing to be worried about. So yeah, doctor said nothing to be worried about, and I said, can I get a scan? I suppose so, and I had to push for it. I had to push to get a scan. I went to have a scan in Bridgend, and the guy told me there and then, just as straightforward. He might as well have said, oh yeah, I'll have the cappuccino and a ham and cheese sandwich. Right? He just said, oh yeah, you've got cancer. I was like, oh. None of this sort of, taking you in another room and sort of softly is like, next. Yeah, that's you. Next one in. It was quite hard hitting. And I think you don't want to take it in to begin with. I think the sort of the engineer side of me, the binary side of me, registered it and just said, okay, I understand what you're saying. Em started crying and she went pale, and I said, well, what's the next steps? And the guy was like, well, we'll get in touch with you. Don't call us, we'll call you. I said, this is, I mean, I haven't been through this process before. It's been pretty harsh. So yeah, go home, live a normal life, and we'll give you a call. And then just so happened that, on that day we went out to the car, and Em got a call from her mum to say her grandfather had passed away.
Oh no!
So within the space of maybe a quarter of an hour, we had 2 bits of tough news to deal with. That we weren't expecting. So on both sides, it was quite tough that day.
Can imagine.
Yeah. Processed it. I had to go for a big op. I had to have chemo afterwards, and that's a new experience. Going to a cancer ward, going to Velindre, and sitting in a ill person's ward in a ill looking chair, and somebody says, right, we're going to flush this bag of chemo through you, and what's going to happen? Don't know. It reacts differently to different people, and then you just see it going up the cannula, and all along it's like, this doesn't happen to me, this happens to other people. You see him on TV, it's someone else, unfortunate. I was very not nice to see. But then boom, I'm sat here like, again, imposter syndrome. What am I doing? What am I doing here? Like, having this. And just absolutely energy zapping. It just stripped it out of me. And the strangest thing, I think, having chemo is that it changed my taste. So foods didn't taste the same, drinks didn't taste the same. And that's why it put me off. It did put me off certain foods. I didn't want to eat much. I mean, I guess everyone has different symptoms, but I didn't want to eat much at all. I didn't want to eat foods that I normally liked. because it tasted horrible, and things smelt differently, which is hard to explain. But I remember going home, and I was still living at home at the time, and the fabric softener that Mum washed all our clothes in, she'd used it for years and years, normal. I went home, it was stinking. I couldn't stand it. And she was like, well, hang on, nothing's changed. This is normal. I was like, I can't handle this. I'm going to heave. Because the smell just didn't... I was interpreting it differently, I think. Yeah, and I was in bed for days, probably weeks. And it was during the summer, so it was bloody hot. And I thought, I've got to get out and try and walk. I've got to do something, because I was doing something, I don't know, but maybe I was sleeping for like 18 hours a day and only awake for 5 or 6. And I was going to sleep then until the next day. I thought, one day I'm going to get up, I'm going to walk outside. And I walked around, I used to walk to school as a kid, and it's probably maybe 2k there, 2k back. So I've done it hundreds of times. I'm going to walk, I'm going to go around school and come back. Easy. And I was conscious, as I got to halfway, as I got to school, I thought, I look like I'm drunk. Like, people are going to think I'm steaming. And it's the middle of the day in the summer. And I dragged myself home, got into bed and went to sleep for the next day. I was done, absolutely cooked. It was just exhausting. It was. Yeah, not nice, but it is. This is one of the things, you just deal with it. You get on with it. You haven't got an option. I guess that's maybe what builds a bit of resilience, bit of toughness, and yeah, you haven't got an option, really, have you? Cards been dealt.
This is the thing. You do. Like, obviously, you don't have the option whether you've got it or not, but you've got the option of how you've dealt with it, and there are so many people that go through not just cancer, but like loads of other things. And that's that. Like, they're like, cool, that's my life changed. I'm done. And that's it. Like, they don't then go back to the sport and compete internationally at it. They don't then go and set themselves like loads of personal challenges like you've done and push through and show that resilience. They're just like,
maybe it just, I wasn't ready to let something like that sort of stop me in my tracks. And I think it's just about keeping going, isn't it? Keeping going. And you see other people keep going, you think, oh, if I can keep going, that's what's really like positively contagious, is when you see someone else do it and they've kept going. You think, maybe I could, do you know what, I'll have a go at that, I'll keep going. And maybe if I keep going, it might inspire someone else to keep going. And I feel good about that.
I've said it about my ankle. Like, when I broke my ankle and the doctors were like, yeah, it's going to make a full recovery, but you're never really going to run again. And, like, if you do, like, it's going to be painful. And, like, for the first 3 years after I came out of the cast, it was like, I couldn't do couch to 5k. Like, I would be going through it, and I would, after a run, I wouldn't be able to walk for the next few days. And I almost gave up, and I was like, that's running done for me. And now look at me, and it's just like, I can see from their perspective like how or why they would stop trying, because like I said, 3 years of going through it and being like, fucking hell, like, it's still not getting better, done everything I can, it's still fucked. Like, that's hard. And like, even this year, like, after I did Dusk Till Dawn, my ankle flared up and I couldn't walk properly for a few days. And then that was like fucking 10 days before the 6th, so I was panicking, being like, shit, I fucked this, I shouldn't have done that race. So like, it still flares up now, but then like you're saying, it's just like, I wasn't ready to give that up. But that's then a choice that I've made of like, yeah, I'm not ready for this, like, fuck it, let's keep going. Whereas not everyone makes that choice, and this is what I find fascinating, because you didn't even see it like that. You was just like, yeah, you keep doing it, and it's like, do you though? Does everyone do that? No, most people don't.
Imagine, I think of this sometimes, imagine your younger self asking you whether you gave up or not. Imagine 10-year-old Will asking you now, did you give up? And you having to say, yeah, I did.
That's harsh.
Isn't it?
And I, from my perspective with you, like, I could be completely wrong. You might agree with me now. You've got kids, and I always think that one side of me, if I ever had kids, like, there would be the side of me that's like, right, you need to calm down, focus on the kids, which obviously you do, because you're then looking after someone else that can't look after themselves. But then there's the other side of, like, what you just said is, like, imagine what your kids think of you. And, like, if you go to sign up to something and you tell them, like, oh, I quit, I gave up. And it's like, you don't want that.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
So I guess it's that same thing, but you're just using your younger self as the example.
Imagine you when you're younger and you're in school, you always think of what am I going to be when I'm older. And imagine being able to ask your older self whether you got that stuff done. Did you do it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't, mate. Fucking let you down. Oh, okay, yeah.
I always think of this idea of your three selves. Have you heard of that?
No, but I go on, explain it. I
So
might
it's
have already
like-
thought about it.
I got it from a book. It's up there. It's called Me, Myself and I. It's all about rock climbing, funnily
Right.
enough.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
guy that goes out and he does rope soloing.
Yeah.
So he's doing everything himself. And it's like the most detailed book about it you can find out there. It's like, yeah, all these diagrams and stuff, but it's got a section on, like, the mindset of it. And he just talks about this idea of, like, his future self, his past self, and his present self. And he's like, you've got to make decisions as your present self that would make your future self look back and thank your past self. And I love that, because it's like, I'm not doing this for me right now. I'm doing this so then the future me, when he looks back, he can be like, cheers for doing that. Fucking appreciate
100%.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just, I like that.
I like
thought.
that.
It's just, I want to find a way of, like, wording it better, because it just sounds like really wordy. And I'm just like, your future self, and it takes you like a minute.
No, it's
to
okay.
think.
I know exactly what you mean, and I think about that as well. Yeah. To be able to, you know, whether you're 80 and you're in a hospital bed, you're like, fucking nice one, mate. You know, I'm glad. Do you do this? Oh, yeah, I've done that.
Yeah. There's just, like, loads of little mind tricks you can play with yourself in there. Of just like, yeah, like, fucking, what can I do to get me through doing this thing that's shit right now, but that in the future I'm going to be happy about? Or, like you're saying, like, thinking about your past self and being like,
yeah,
what's their opinion of
that
you?
hits me hard. I think I think forward a lot, and I think about, like, maybe creating a bit of stability, especially with a family in the future, which is quite normal. But I think the impact of, like my 10-year-old self asking me innocently, did you get that stuff done? Did you do it? And having to go back and saying, nah, mate, I couldn't be bothered. I watched Netflix and chilled instead. Did you do those tough things? Tell me that you did do them. Did you do them? Because this is where I'm going to be. I want to know. I want to be like you.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, if I look back and
Yeah, I did them.
I have a conversation with, like, 10-year-old me, it'd be fucking blown away by the shit I've done.
There we go. And
Because,
that's
like, I hated sport as a kid. I was the least sporty kid going.
yeah.
So to, like, go back to, like, 10-year-old me and be like, yeah, no, you're not, like,
You won't believe
like, I wanted to, like, be like a game designer,
Yeah.
like coding and stuff like that, and I would, like, go on the PC version of Modern Warfare and I would, like, mod it, like, proper go into the coding and be like, well, if I do this, then that will change. And, like, that was me. I was, like, proper computer geek, hated sports, and now I'd go back and be like, you just run 6 ultras in 6 days. Be like, what the fuck? I don't even want to do that. Like, why? And I just, the contrast between, like, me now and me as a kid.
Whisper to him, was like, you're a fucking machine, mate. When you're older, you don't know this.
You're a pussy right now. Fucking give it 10 years. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
That's when things will change for you.
Well, what a positive way to look at it. Okay?
Yeah, it's just I often think back because like my brother was the sporty one.
So here's another twist. What if your 40 yourself is having a chat is looking back at you now and saying, mate, you thought those 6 and 6 was something special? Wait till you get older. Innit?
See, that's what I'm holding out
We
for.
fucked up over here in our mid-40s. You won't believe what we just done. Huh?
We're going to listen back to this when we're in our 40s and just be like, oh, fucking hell.
I eat 6 and 6 for breakfast.
That's my usual week. That's just training and running an ultra a day. Like, come on, step it up already. Yeah, just thinking like, how
Never
much
know.
more are we
Never
capable of?
Never know.
But then it could be like, we're looking back when we're in our 40s being like, you really fucking did a number on your body there. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Fuck you.
We're all at the wheelchair convention.
Yeah, who knows? That's exciting, isn't it?
Yep.
Looking back,
Yeah.
being like, oh,
Yeah.
is what we're doing the right thing or not? Who knows? Maybe adventure athletes will be like massive, like
Never know.
international.
Never know.
Maybe it will be done. Maybe I'll be a postman or a binman or something. Just look back in my 40s stacking shelves at Tesco's being like, do you remember when I run a podcast?
That you'd be doing all of it, plus running in between.
Running
Famous
ultras around Tesco's stacking shelves.
Never know. You have loads of snacks there for checkpoints, wouldn't you?
To be fair, you're in the best place for it. The amount of squares bars I could have.
Straight past the bakery. Straight past the dairy.
Yeah, I do. I probably think about it too much of like, what is future Will going to be like? What's going to happen? Am I going to keep going with this stuff? Like,
You said you were going to focus on swimming, didn't you? After a while, you're going to turn yourself to marathon swimming, 10Ks.
Genuinely, I'd love to. I really need to learn to swim. Really, do you want to teach me to swim?
Yeah.
Basically, anyone that can swim that comes on the podcast, like they'll get a message pretty soon afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, can you teach me to swim? Any swimming
I
lessons?
was listening to your podcast previously, and you were talking about having negative buoyancy and just sinking like a block. But
Yep.
so I don't know what that feels like, but I do
doesn't
know
feel
that the
great.
more that you can relax in the pool, the better, or in water, the more that you can relax and just float. And I'm watching my kids swim now, and to some degree, it's really frustrating. They're just starting to get it. Paige is older, she's getting it now, and Mason's just starting to get it. But watching them go like a pencil and sink is so frustrating because I know that they can float, but because they don't have the confidence, they just let their legs drop and then they start dropping, and then it's like they're gasping for air. And I just know that if they chilled out and had a bit of confidence in being able to just breathe and then pull their way slowly through the water, they just float. They just float, because I know, and it's going to sound horrible, right, compared to you, but when I jump in the water in the morning, it's peaceful and it's like calm, and I can just push off the wall and glide and not take any strokes, and I'm just chilling, and it's as close to just like floating in space, I guess. You push off the side, boom, 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 and I come up, nice breath, boom, take like 5 or 6 strokes at the other end of the pool. It's lovely, and it's really, really chilled.
The thing is, like, because people often ask me this when I talk about swimming to them, because when I bring up, oh, I can't swim, to most people, they're like, what do you mean you can't swim? I'm like, well, I can't swim. They're like, you run ultras. And I'm like, I'm not swimming in that. Like, what's that got to do with anything?
Yeah.
But they're just like, because I'm fit and I do a lot of activities, they're just like, what do you mean you can't swim? Like, and then they're like, do you panic? Like, are you scared of the water? I'm like, no, like, doesn't... They're like, have you like been in like, you know what people do when they first go swimming, they're trying to get comfortable and they sink to the bottom and just get used to being under there, and I'll do that all day. I'm not scared of the water. Like, it doesn't I'll go in the sea, I'll go in the ocean, I don't care. Like, as long as I've got a way to get out, whatever, I don't care. And when I was trying to swim and stuff, like, I would happily do a length under the water without coming up for breath.
Yeah.
But it's just like that, staying on top
You
of
need
the
to
water.
breathe as well, though.
Yeah, but like, I had like, I used to go swimming 6 times a week for an hour a day. 6 times a week, an hour a day. I did that for 6 months.
That's brilliant. That's class.
And I didn't really get any better. But like there was a triathlon coach there that saw me,
Yeah.
and he was like trying to help me out and everything, and he
Mm.
was giving me drills to do, and I'd do the drills. Like I was religious with it. I was like, I will like stick with doing like this amount of lengths of these drills,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then doing this. And
Yeah.
it just didn't really seem to help. And it's not like I wasn't. He was like, yeah, your breathing's fine, like you're turning, like catching your breath, and it just pissed me off because I put so much effort in and didn't seem to get anywhere.
I bet.
And that's why I haven't done it. It just pisses me off. I like being bad at stuff, but I like being bad at stuff because then I learn it.
And
when I'm not learning it, I'm just like, what's the point?
yeah,
Fuck this.
I can see how it's tricky. I can, yeah.
But I'd love to be able to.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I will try again at some point. Yeah, probably when I'm bored of running.
If you want to go, I'll come swim with you sometime. I don't know how good a coach I'll be.
There's literally a leisure centre at the end of the road.
Is there?
Like, literally come down the hill, leisure centre. Like, I run to it and it takes 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's really not far. So I should probably go.
Nice. Well, yeah, I'll come. I don't know how good I'd be at coaching. I love the fact that our sessions are coached and I can go and just switch my mind off and just follow the instructions.
Yeah.
And just someone else has written the session, you get in and all you got to do is just do it and just sort yourself out in the lanes, who's going to lead them, who's going to keep the time, and just do it. Which I like that because I don't have to think about it, just turn my brain off.
Yeah.
And just repeat the same old song every length. And have you ever had that?
No, well, obviously not with swimming, but
I'm sure it's a thing that is shared among swimmers where you start swimming and all of a sudden your brain selects off random like maybe 10-15 seconds of a song and you're just going to get it every length for the whole hour. And every time you turn and kick off the wall, it resets, it plays again. And you can't choose a song. It's not the last song you were listening to in the car. It's just something from your playlist. It's almost like torture in a way, but it's like it was meditative.
you say that, but when I was doing...
Right, I'm sure I'm not the only one. Okay, if someone else has had that, you got... Please write in.
Comment, yeah, send us a message. Let James know.
Comment, like and share.
No, like when I was doing the 6, like day 3, when I was struggling, I just put the same song on repeat on my headphones. I quite like that. People think I'm mental. I fucking loved it. It's like a 2.5 minute song.
But the thing is,
and I would listen to it for hours.
They thought you were mental because they could see your headphones weren't plugged in. Cord was dangling out. And you were singing it.
I mean, to be fair, it wouldn't surprise me by that point. But I did that when I've hit my 10k PB. I went to the leisure centre and I just do laps of the field.
Yeah.
And last time I hit 10k PB, I just had that song on.
Boom.
Listened to that song 24 times. Just on repeat, and it's going to be mad how many times I've listened to that one song, because it's the same song every time. I use it for everything. The amount of times I must have listened to that song just on repeat is scary, but I like it. Like, it's a really nice cadence for running, so I just switch off, I plod along, and it's one that, like, it's got some mantras in it as well.
Right, yeah.
So I'm just like, that gets in my head, and that's like, oh. But because the cadence is so nice, it's not like I'm like shuffling to that cadence. Like it just makes me run.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. Like when I did it on day 3 of the 6, like that last section, I was hitting like a 4:30 kilometre. And it's like, I'm 3 ultras in and I'm now doing 4:30 kilometres. And just like the pace, and you see the finish of day 3 where I'm running across the coast and Dan's running next to me filming it. And everyone's like, that's proper running.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I just had that song in my head. And that was it. I was just zoned out. Like, the rest of the world did not matter to me.
Yeah.
I was just like, boom, hit.
Did you say that was on day 3?
Day 3.
You said you didn't like day 3, did you?
I fucking hated day 3.
You didn't like the coastal route?
No, it was miserable.
Because that's the day we came down and seen you off. And I said, right, we've got to go down and see Will. And I dragged Mason out. I gave him the bell. And we had quite a good kickabout on the beach beforehand, so only like 10-15 minutes, but he was like, why can't we do this all the time before school? And I was like, oh yeah, well, oh no, he's going down with parents, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And you look tired, but you still look pretty good for having done 2 events. And I just thought, you're pacing it nicely. You must be eating and sleeping it well. And then when I heard that you came into Landsworth and you went over and just sat down by the car, you just needed a bit of time to yourself.
Yeah.
A couple of people said, oh, maybe he looks like he's struggling, or he's always tired. I was like, oh, not yet, not now. Not now, come on. Keep going.
That was where Mason was
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
when I was
yeah.
struggling.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, it wasn't long before that I, like, just turned to George and Steve. I think Steve was
Yeah, he
still
did. He
there.
ran the first part with you, didn't he?
Yeah. I'm sure, yeah, he was still there at that point. And I was like, guys, I'm just going to have to put my headphones in, like... And I was like... I think I asked them to run behind me because I just didn't want to see them. Like, nothing against them. Fucking... They were great company. I loved running with both of them. That, to be fair, like, as much as I didn't really like that course personally, just because I don't really like the coast in general, never liked it. Probably not being able to swim doesn't help. So beaches have never appealed to me. So other than the route, like, the company was great, did some wicked running, just didn't like the route. Atmosphere was great, but yeah, like, it got to a point where I was with them and I was just like, I just don't want to see people, I just want to get in my own headspace. My right ankle was hurting, the one that I'd broken, that was hurting from like 5k in on the first day. So I was just like, I knew I was going to be suffering with that. And then when my left foot started hurting on day 3, I was like, oh fuck, this is miserable. And in my head, I was like, this is miserable. Like, I need this music to keep going. And then, like, probably like 2k out from the car was when I was like, run behind me. I'm going to put my headphones in, and ran a bit ahead of them. And then I could see the checkpoint, and I was like, can someone just go down and just let them know that I need a minute just to myself? So George ran ahead, and then coming down the steps, and Mason's just there ringing his bell. Fuck, that made my day, mate. I almost cried then. But it was like that point, like, I was lying on the floor, I had my feet up on a chair, I had my hat over my face. Everyone's just away from me. And I was like, that was the first time I was like, fuck, this is hard. Like, I knew it was, the whole week was going to be hard.
Going to be tough, man.
But that was the first time where, like, I was in my head being like, okay, this is hard. This is where I have to push through. This is going to be horrendous. And now I look back at that and I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? That was hard. Like, that was an easy bit. That wasn't... I was still running, like I said, 430 kilometres.
Yeah, but it was still a hump to get... At the time, it was still a challenge, wasn't it? A hump to get over.
And now I look back at day 5 and I'm like, okay, that's when it got hard.
Yeah.
That's like when I got actually injured and I have to, like, use poles to walk because I can't walk. And like you're saying, like, you seeing me on day 6 coming out the car and just being like, oh, fucking hell.
Didn't have your vest either.
Yeah, no,
6.
didn't have my vest.
Forgot your vest.
Borrowed your vest. You was carrying around your little Audi bag. Oh, that morning was just hilarious. I felt so bad for you guys. I almost, like, told you guys to fucking go home. I'm going to be honest. Because I was just like, I got out the car. It was when we got to... Because we're in Park Penalta. And we have to do that bit where we go round that bit at the start. Because, like, the start is, like, in that field. And then it's like, right, you go to the end of the path. Then you go, like, back on yourself. And it's like, I was just over there. And you get down there and you start going down that hill. And there's just that bench at the bottom.
I know, when you sat on that bench, I was like...
Yeah.
Right, I'm not going to be home for tea tonight.
Yeah, we was like 500 metres in. And I was like, sorry, guys, I just need to have a seat. It was at that point I was like, fuck, this is going to be a lot longer for these guys than expected.
Yeah.
And I was almost just like, right, guys, fuck off. Like, I can't have, like, be doing this to you. But fair play to you all, you stuck with me. And I sat down 3 times in 1k. That first K, fucking... yeah, I felt awful.
You got it done. You got it done.
it was such a long day for you guys. But then when we hit that first climb,
Yeah.
and you could see me kicking in a bit,
Yeah.
that you guys weren't expecting.
We weren't expecting that. No.
I don't think I was.
Well, I'd
expecting
settled into
that,
the fact
but-
we were walking that day. When
Yeah.
I seen you getting out of the car, and I thought, this is day 6. He's had 5 days. I can't even imagine what you've been through. All we've got to do is just support you to the end. And you didn't even know I was turning up. What I didn't want to do is say, yeah, I'll be there, and for whatever reason, something happened with the kids, and I'm not being able to be there, and someone is relying on you being there, and you let them down at the end of the challenge. Terrible friend. Oh. So I thought, do you know what? If I can make it, I'm just going to turn up, and I can only imagine the more the merrier with something like this. So I just rocked up. I saw Rose's car there. I didn't know Matt. We had a great day. I didn't know Matt, so I was like, morning, yeah, who are you? And then you pulled up, and I was like, when we started running, I quickly appreciated this was going to be a slow day. I said to Em, I was like, I'll be back after lunch, 7 hours, so hour there, hour back, 5 hour, 50k, I'll be home in the afternoon. I was thinking, I hope we finish before it gets dark. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but
I didn't, for context.
well, it was very close.
Very dark.
It was close. It was just as the sun was going down, but quite prepared to have a slow day. I made sure I had enough snacks, as evident in some of the images, and just made it funny. I added a bit of humour, the fact that you didn't have your bag, so I give you my vest, and I did the first checkpoint with an Aldi's bag with a double Tesco meal deal in and extra energy gels and bars. Yeah. But anyway, we swapped that round at checkpoint 1, didn't we?
Yeah.
I gotta say, that was, and I've said it a couple of times, straight away after we've done it, it was one of the best days I've had on the trails. One of the most enjoyable. I never laughed as much. And had just a wicked day out. With no pressure on myself, no PBs, no fast times, no segments, no worrying about, are you going to make your next checkpoint? It was literally just to support you and make sure you got to the end. But in addition to that, we had a wicked laugh. And it's hard trying to explain to someone how you had such good fun when you're out on your feet for 15 hours. I explain that to people in work, and they're like, mate, something wrong with your brain. Not right. He's a wrong one. A wicked day.
It really was.
It was a wicked day.
It was so funny.
And it was great.
I wasn't expecting to smile that much that day.
Good.
I was miserable.
Oh, good, because
when
I'm
I got
glad.
out that car.
That was our challenge, is to try and make you smile. Because surely everything's got to be a bit easier if you can smile.
It was that first point where I ran where, like, obviously I knew it was coming. I didn't know that at the start of the day, but when we started going up that bit, and I was like, okay, like, take a moment here, Will, like, let you guys walk on a bit, and I was like looking through my phone trying to find the song that I put on every time I start running, and it was my theme for the week. Like, there was 2 songs that I'd put on that would, like, get me hyped
Rage
up to start
Against the
running.
Machine.
Yeah, that was one of them.
Yeah, well, I did hear you sing it about 17 times.
Yeah. So it's just like I was looking for that, and like Lee stopped with me.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You're right, Will." I was like, "Yeah, I'm just finding a song." He was like, "Don't now." And then I was like, "Oh, come on." And then you lot were like, just kept walking because you're like, "Oh, he's just taking a minute. He'll be with us soon." And then I put it on, and I put it in my vest, turn the volume right up, and then me and Lee just start going, and like we just overtake you, and you guys are just like, "Fucking hold on here." Yeah. And I think it was you that shouted it, just being like, "You're running," and I was like, "Yeah, come on." Just sprinting, and it was either you or Matt just went, "It's uphill." And I was just like, "Yep, it is."
At the time I was thinking, we'd seen you do the first couple of K, and then you started running uphill. I was like, mate, don't ruin this. You are the last stretch. Don't burn yourself out. But yeah, you did that a few times. You did that more than a few times. Hit the hill and just started And
that was the pattern for the day, wasn't it? I would
like run the hills. You did basically you inverted what normal people do. So what they do is common advice is pace yourself, walk the hills, and steady, fast, free flowing downs maybe, and then you ran the hills and then walked everything else.
It was just that like the pattern of like, okay, I'm struggling, put a song on, run, get in the head and be like, fucking come on, and then be like, okay, I'm tired now, stop running. And then be like, okay, I'm really tired now, I'm going to lie down.
Yeah.
And then I'd just have my little lie down.
I said, when you'd have your Will on the Hill moment. Elf on a shelf, you got Will on a hill.
Oh, mate, that's perfect.
And I remember when Jodie caught up with us in sort of the middle and you took off up one of the hills. I think it was past the ridge line.
It was just after the pub.
Yeah, okay. Jodie was like, hang on. I said, mate, he's done it a few times now. I'm getting used to this. Let's just keep up with him.
This is actually quite funny because I thought about this when I raced the Ridham.
Yeah.
Is that same hill that you're on about with Jodie where, like, you come from, is it Mindfluid pub?
You just got to watch, maybe, and you got to watch out for the tree roots as you're coming up. And it's a bit twisty, windy.
You go up the steps and you go through like a little bit of a trail, bit of a fire track. You get to those little forestry gates bits,
right?
And I was a bit confused where to go, and then it goes up through the forestry, and that's where all the roots and stuff is. I remember I was gunning that bit, and Jodie catching up with me and being like, "Mate, like I'm tired running this, like fucking fair play, running that." When I was then racing it, I got to that bit and I had to walk that bit. I was fucked. Me and Wolfgang, that's where Wolfgang caught up with me. And we were like walking up that and I'm just in my head being like, I fucking ran this on my 6. Why am I fucking, how am I so fucked now that I'm walking? Blew my mind, like thinking back being like, I fucking ran that. Mate, that's a good stretch to run. That's
is.
Good going.
Yeah. Even on a Wednesday night. It's a good stretch to run.
Yeah, and because me and Wolfgang were talking about it, because we was like, on a Wednesday, like, we'd be running this, and it would be, we feel good, and it was like, we're here running this, and it's you've actually got...
No, so I feel as if this is a key part now. I've named it Will's 6 in 6 Delirium. Because we did get a little bit delirious. I think
you guys were more delirious than me. That was the funny part. Because, like, there was a lot, like, especially the second half, where you, Rose and Matt would, like, be ahead and, like, say, like, me and Chelsea are behind. Me and Chelsea are having, like, a proper, like, civilised chat and whatnot. And then we catch up with you for a bit and we're just like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
I think... Because... Well, it's good that you're laughing because, it's a similar laughs that we saw on the day, but there was moments of sort of silence and quietness where, we didn't want to put too much pressure on you, so we sort of gave you space and we went ahead or we hung back and then we caught up and passed and, whatnot. But there is points in which we were questioning, like, what's happening? What are we doing with our lives? Are we going to finish it? Are we doing the whole thing? Have we got enough food? Is it going to be sunny? Are we going to run into tomorrow? And then from that, and I think a little bit of excitement as we got closer to the finish, and so some of the things, I don't think these are in any particular order.
I just love that you've made notes.
But they're not in any order. I'm just going to read them through and see if I can make some sense out of them. We got Rose mumble talking. I'll start off with that.
What do you nickname her now?
Gerald.
Gerald, that's it.
Of Clarkson's farm. I think after about 10 hours, we were talking, and I kept having to say, Rose, what? Like, what did you just say? And she's like, what? And I was like, I didn't hear a word. It was just noise. And my ears like failing me now. Or she's like, I know sometimes I mumble when I'm tired. I was like, but that was like the last 5 hours. And then when we cottoned on, it was like sort of making fun of that, all in good faith.
That was very similar to when I did 10 of Anne with her.
Yeah.
Like, when you described that,
and she was laughing, she'd say something, and I was like, again, didn't understand a word of that, and then she'd repeat
And then
it.
I found it where like she would just be like mumbling, and you're just sort of like looking at her, being like, "Is she talking, or is she like talking to herself, or what?" And then she'd just start laughing, and you're just like, "Nice one, Rose." Oh, mate.
That was brilliant. We had a couple of incidents. I think about the 13-hour mark. Matt came out with some Korean ninja lingo where he opened the gate with a chop of his hand, and as he opened the gate, it was like "Ching wah," like that. So that became it just seeped out. It just came out, and it became a bit of a thing. Then I think that we may be ahead of you, and we thought, right, we'll open the gates for you, make sure they're open. And he was like "Ching wah." A bit of, yeah. We had a cow with one eye staring at us. We had the body popping CPR technique and cactus teabagging,
Cactus ball.
choking maneuver. I think there's the meme going around on Instagram where somebody's doing body popping CPR, so we reenacted that at a trig point, didn't we?
We did, yeah. That was fucking hilarious.
At the time, yeah. I think somebody.
I think
caught it
there's a
on-
video of that. in
Yeah,
there.
maybe. Chelsea had that on cameras.
Yeah,
I
I'm
hope-
pretty
I hope
sure
it-
I've got
hope
the
it-
clip of
I hope
that.
it got deleted, basically.
No, I think I've got it in my
Um,
folder, mate.
We had you getting your disco hips out towards the end, shuffling up the hill, snake hips, wiggling side to side. We turned around, I think it was the last trig point, and you were giving it full lefts and rights, weaving your way up. It looked like you were on the way to the dance floor. Shifting up that hill.
There was a joke about like the way I was walking and using my pole, so then like I just exaggerated it, and that's when I was doing swinging,
Well,
swinging the
I
poles. They
think
were going everywhere.
We turned around. And I was like, what the? You should have had a pair of flares on going up the hills. And some of those glittery shoes. For some reason, I think this is towards the end, we had belly buttons full of ketchup, which would be ideal for dipping chips in. Something about being so tired that driving home after the event, going through McDonald's drive-through and just putting ketchup in your belly button. I think we were buckled over with
Some
laughter
of these
at the
sound
time.
like those random Cards Against Humanity cards.
Yes, innit?
Real 6 in 6 car.
Well, yeah, we were talking about savoury gels. So, I mean, there's not many of them around.
I remember this
Gels
conversation.
is-
This has been a topic of conversation since as well.
Is
You
it?
brought this up at Trails.
Yeah, I've even mentioned it on Never Second, had a post on Instagram the other day about flavours of gels. I was like, guys, you're missing a trick here.
Because we was talking about it at the barbecue as well, weren't we?
Yeah, no one's covered savoury gel market.
No.
It's all strawberry this, rhubarb that, apple crumble this, lemon drizzle that. No one's had shepherd's pie. No one's had pea and ham soup. No one's had leek and potato. No one's had chicken and mushroom. And I think for anyone who likes Greg's, they would appreciate maybe a savoury gel when you get a bit of flavour fatigue.
Yeah, sausage roll gel or something.
Yeah, a bit firm, but yeah.
You're saying like lemon drizzle, like you're not actually getting a fucking cake when you're having the gel. You're not trying to squeeze cake out of this gel. It's just the flavouring.
Right, okay. I think
Just like a sausage roll flavoured gel.
what else? We had the Aldi Adventure Bag, called the Aldi Adventure Bag.
That was top tier.
And that, there was a lot of ideas.
I was just picturing you turning up to UTMB,
Hey, it might make
checking
an
in,
appearance.
just being like, "Yeah, got my Aldi bag."
I think that's when Rod
They're
was
like, "Where's your pack?" Here it is.
yeah, you didn't define it to be an expensive race pack. It is a pack. It can be a vest. It won't look very good, but I can put my arms through the sides. But I think when Rod was there, we came up with some reasonable and tactical ideas. I mean, for starters, it's waterproof, so you can't say it's not a waterproof bag because it is. You could have gel holders on the outside, good all the way around, so you can just stuff your gels in. And I think we were just saying it could be like segmented, so you can have everything in there. You can have a couple of beers in there. You can get everything compartmentalised. Turns into a seat. If you put it on the floor, you just sit on it.
When does this come into production? Running Punks.
Ultra
Carry
light. It's light as well. Yeah. What else do we have on there? We had a battery holder. We had a speaker built on the side. Yeah.
The most expensive Audi bag you can imagine.
Yeah, you did what we needed on the day, didn't we?
It did.
Other bullet points. I try not to take too much of the time up in here, but hopefully he's entertaining. Maybe for at least me, Matt, and Rose. But Rose, she's got a habit of not being able to pass animals without mentioning taxidermy. So this isn't just on the 6-in-6, but we go out for training runs all weekend, and I have only ever seen dead moles on the floor running with her. I don't know where she brings that dead mole energy to the trails, but poor things. I've never seen a dead mole ever, but seen a few this last year or so.
This is where you notice on a Wednesday run or something, Rose disappears to go to the toilets before trails. You start running, there's lots of dead animals about.
It's a thing now. Someone will just look around and say, you're going to take that home, or you're going to taxidermy it? But it's I don't think she has, but it always pops up as in conversation.
Oh, she makes me laugh.
We had coffee shop banter. I think I'll leave that one there. We had the Bog of Doom. We had the Bog of Minor Inconvenience thereafter.
It was really like a bog of minor inconvenience on the day as well. It wasn't even a bog.
We had the naming of Fanny Big.
I remember that chat.
And that was towards the beginning, and the history of maybe how the mountain is named that way. We talked about how running was bad for your knees. Got chased by that freaking horse. You know when you take your shoes off to go through the Bog of Doom?
You got chased by a horse?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know this.
You didn't know this?
No.
Oh, okay, so thereafter there's a bit of a farm. I'd gone through, and I just thought everyone was following. And I thought, I'm gonna have a crack. Will's having these little 2-minute naps. I thought I'm gonna try this out. Maybe it might be. Maybe I like it. It might be beneficial. So it's been a long day. I lie in the field, just lay down, and just let everything drift away. I thought, that's quite nice actually. I'll wait till he turned up. And he didn't turn up. I didn't realise you're taking your shoes off. And all of a sudden, Rose is screaming, "Run!" like this. As she comes belting it through. I was like, what are you on about? Horse! Matt comes through. And I was like, I just see this horse chasing them. And I was like, leapt up on my feet, quickly spun around. All of us pelted towards the fence, jumped through the fence. And I mean, horse innocent enough, just chasing them. But at the time, 10 hours in, and not expecting it, and I was just quietly laying there on the floor. Yeah, I just didn't expect it to be absolutely battering it through a field. I thought she was joking. And I thought, oh yeah. And then I seen the horse just gallop through. I was like, woohoo! I don't know if they can do anything, but I'm not going to hang around to find out. Just get trampled by one. We had Cinderella slippers. We had the glass slipper at the beginning. We had a bit of Arnie grunting from yours truly, getting your way up those hills.
Oh mate, I was in so much pain. I
think we try to reenact it without you hearing us behind.
I didn't hear you guys at all. There was that one hill, and this is Rose's favourite moment of the whole fucking day, was where I was going for it up that last hill. I was proper going for it, and I was trying to hold that pace for ages, and I was like, I'm going to drop these guys now.
Yeah.
And I was going and I was grunting away and proper screaming at this point, because I was like, I don't want to slow down because I really want to get a bit of a lead on them.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I slow down and I turn around and you're all right on my back. And I just turn around and just went, you cunts. I was trying to drop you on that hill and you just fucking keep up. Rose just loves that moment.
Yeah, yeah.
of just being like, oh, I was trying to drop you cunts. And she was just like burst out laughing. I had no idea you were there. I could not hear a thing. And then you guys were just saying like, no, we were laughing the whole way.
Well, we didn't want to let you get too far away because you might have said, you're holding me up. I don't want to, if you're going to go, we're fresh enough to have to stay with you. We haven't done 5 days prior. We're fresh. It'd be embarrassing if we couldn't keep up with you at that point. So if you were fit enough to go, then we've got to keep up with you. If you want to drop back, we drop back. That's what a support crew is, isn't it? I'd hate for you to think you'd outrun us. And then,
no, that was what I was trying to do.
No, I know that, but I'd hate for you to think you'd outrun us and then you have to wait. If we came on the corner chilling and you were there like this, tapping your foot, going, guys, 5 minutes off my 50k PB on day 6, we feel as if you let you down, so we had to keep up with you.
I don't think that was going to be the case at all. I think everyone knew at some point I'd stop running and you guys would definitely be able to catch up, but fair play, you kept up. I mean, I was only doing like a 6:30 kilometre.
Don't
Like
matter.
in the grand scheme, it's not that fast, but for where I was in that point in time, that was like, I might as well have been fucking Usain Bolt.
I got a couple more. We had Hannah telling the story about a mate that sells ice creams from his garage for 4 hours a week. So I really and it was,
Forgot about that.
we all sat down on the grass and I said, I can really do an ice cream now. And she was like, I had some really nice ice cream recently. It's homemade. And I, right, okay, yeah. She's like, yeah,
Was it from his garage?
I know someone who sells it from the garage and they're only open 4 hours a week. And we were all like, huh? That story took a bit of a turn.
And she was like, yeah, there's usually like on that day, it's the day of the week because there's a queue by his garage to buy this ice cream because he's only open for 4 hours. It's just like, hey, surely if it's that good, like, probably open a bit more. And then that got on to, because everyone was loving my dad's brownies, weren't they? And
Yeah.
then you was like, your dad should open a brownie shop for 4 hours a week.
But what was it? We were talking about brownies then. And she said she had some brownies, but they weren't very good. And I asked her what garage she got them from. It's like, where is she popping up at people's garages for food? But yeah, your dad could open a brownie shop.
Only for 4 hours a week, though. Can't be more than that. That's the dessert time. Oh my god.
What would be a really inconvenient time to open as well? It's like when everyone's in work. 11 till 3.
11 till 3 every Monday. Or just like something ridiculous, like 1 a.m. till 5 a.m. on a Saturday. Like,
That's dodgy then, isn't it? They're a different type of brownies that you're selling at that time of the night.
why do you think you guys were so delirious?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's in the brownies, mate.
Yeah. I got Trig dancing like a bunch of crackheads on here.
Oh, man. When I asked for that video, I forgot how fucking bad it was. I was just looking at the video like, oh my god, what are we doing? What has my life come to?
Yeah.
Like, genuinely now, like, not only am I like making a point of bagging Trigs, I'm making a point of dancing to him, to the point where I've run out of dances and I've run out of energy, and I'm like, everyone gather round, we're dancing. Woo! Right, let's fuck off. Every Trig that day. That clip of Rose where she's hiding behind the Trig, we're just dancing
Just
like,
pops
oh,
out.
fucking hell. And then after we've stopped dancing, she just goes,
That's like bare minimum.
oh, mate. I never thought I'd get Rose in one of those videos, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, we've done it.
Completed it now.
We're on about selling things on Vinted and, selling...
That soon changed conversations, that one. That's very soon went to OnlyFans.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just,
Same, Vinted, OnlyFans.
yeah, it's just being able to sell anything, basically, anything. And she's like, maybe sell a pair of old socks. And I was like, I bet you could sell some soiled pants on Vinted. Someone will buy them. I've just sent my old shoes off on Vinted yesterday. I had them boxed and packed on Friday night, and I ran Saturday morning, and I messaged one of the boys I was going out with. So I got them cleaned, I got them dry, I got them in a box. They sold. I got the label ready to send them off in post. Yes, they go in. And I messaged my mate, said, road shoes. I was like, get them out the box. I put them on, I wore them for one last run. We go through the lanes in Cowbridge, and it was flooded.
Oh, fucking hell.
I know. So we just went through the water. And as soon as I got home, washed them again, dried them out, brushed them, got the mud off, made them look nice, dried them out, put them in the box, and they've gone now. And I've ordered a new pair, so I can't believe. And Joe says, I don't know how you sell trainers online, but they've done 500k, more than maybe 600, and they're looking great, Nick. I can't believe how good they look.
I wouldn't be able to sell any of my shoes.
They're flat. Yeah, well, it's another thing on here. Will's shoes falling off in front of our eyes. He said he'd finished with his toes hanging out the front. I got that picture of you. That's one of them on there. I got that picture of you lying down on the logs, and you can see the rubber just flapping off, just folding over.
I still wear them.
Oh, that's class. The fact you can't. It was literally the next bullet point on there.
That is one of my favourite pictures as well. That's a class picture.
I was glad I got it. Yeah, you lay down in a nice place there.
Well, you say that. What you don't realise, and I didn't tell anyone this on the day, so this is probably new information to everyone. I remember because I lay down and I was just so fucked. I was like, get your 2 minutes, and like I'm still hearing everyone chatting and whatnot, and I'm just there and I'm like, oh fucking, like it stinks here, like the fuck. I literally right there next to me, at the end of the log, pile of dog shit. I was that close to laying in dog shit, and I was just like, because I smelt it, and like I opened my eyes for a second, I looked and I saw it, and I was like, oh, God, I'm not moving. And I just fucking carried on. I was like, no, I'm done.
The last thing on a tactical race belt for gherkins for future races for you. So you get race belts where you can stuff a few gels in, get a couple of those cucumbers in there.
I did find it funny. What was it? Checkpoint 2? Yeah, it must have been Checkpoint 2 when, because like Checkpoint 1 was just my mum and dad pulled up next to the fly tipping.
Yeah.
Just being like, woo! And then we're just like, yeah, we'll have a quick stop. And I did I even sit down? I don't know.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, yeah. There for like a few minutes. And then by Checkpoint 2, that's when the crowd started building and everyone's like getting in on the last day. And that was just before we met up with Jodie. We've still got like a bunch of us. Then like all the people from my gym come down. My brother had rocked up not long before. Hannah had joined us, and
it was brilliant.
We got this like, and Josh just randomly rocked up as well. So like Josh was there, and
you pretty much ran all of it.
Yeah, and we had this whole group of people, and like I'm still fucked, but like I'm laughing, and everyone's both trying to talk to me, but also give me space at the checkpoint. And I'm there, and everyone's like, "Are you eating well?" I'm like, I don't fancy it. And then Oliver's bringing me burgers and shit like that, and everyone's like, "Oh, of course the 2-year-old's gonna be the one that's feeding him."
Yeah, I couldn't believe how much you didn't eat, and I was saying behind us, he's not eating enough. You're not getting enough carbs in. You're not getting enough energy in, especially seeing as this is day 6. I was concerned that you weren't getting enough food.
Oh, I definitely wasn't. But by that point, like, my body was just done with it.
Yeah.
Because I'd been eating so much all week. Like, in my book up there, my parents were writing down everything I'd eaten until day 5, where I think I got to the second checkpoint, and my mum was like, "Oh, so what have you been eating?" And I was like, "I don't fucking care anymore." Like, just fuck off, basically.
You were just eating sweets and like just sweets and those like strawberry laces, I think.
It was, Hannah was passing me cola laces.
Yeah, cola laces, gherkins, brownies.
Well, that was the point. At Checkpoint 2, when everyone start gathering and like people that haven't done ultras are there, and they're there for like the first time seeing something like that. And then I'm just sat there, like people are trying to feed me, and then I just turned to my dad and I was like, "Can I have a gherkin?
Yeah.
Can you get me a gherkin?" And everyone's like, "What?" And he brings out this jar of gherkins, and I'm trying to get my hand in, but I'd had so many gherkins I couldn't just like pick one out.
Yep.
So then I just gave up and I just started drinking, and everyone's just looking at me like, the fuck is he doing? Like,
That's what happens.
and then there's like a few of the ultra runners that are like, oh yeah, like,
Yeah.
this is good. Well done, Will. Like, get that down, yeah. Everyone else is just like, that's disgusting. What is he doing?
It's when you asked for the glass of milk afterwards, everyone was like,
Oh yeah, but yeah, by that point I was just, because there was so much structure to what I was eating generally.
Yeah.
Like, it looked random, but like I'd done like, because I not long before I did that episode with the nutritionist, which came out afterwards, I think. But like, I was there and I was like really like mentally taking notes, and I was like, right, so this is what I should have. And then I made like a little not muscle food, MyFitnessPal.
Yep.
I'd like scanned everything that I'd bought, and I was like, right, how do I break this up to hit roughly the right amount of carbs? And then was tracking all the food, writing everything down. So then when I was struggling at certain points, I could look back and be like, oh, I haven't had enough of this or that.
Yeah.
And I had it all planned out. But then by the last day, I was just like, oh, fuck off. Like, I want to get through today.
It's the end.
And then it was like between checkpoint 2 and 3, where we went past, we came down through, I can't think where it was, but there was like that kids' party. And I just like look over as we're running past, and I can't remember who I said it to, but I was like, do you reckon they've got jelly and ice cream? And they were like, yeah, it's a kids' party. And I was like, oh, I like jelly and ice cream. And someone just took the thing of like, right, message in the group, Will wants jelly and ice cream. Then I heard like afterwards that there was a big fuss where like my brother went off to buy the jelly, and then Joe went off to buy the ice cream, and everyone's running around panicking trying to get me jelly. And it was just like a throwaway comment in my head.
Yeah.
And then I come in and sit down, and then my dad just goes, do you want your jelly and ice cream then? And I was like, what? Jelly and ice cream? Yeah? And then I just get brought a bowl of jelly and ice cream, and I'm just like, fuck, I've got jelly and ice cream. Like, what is going on? Like, I throwaway comment, genuinely.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, I can get whatever I ask for right now.
Hey.
This is like, when people were asking me about it the week after, I go back to work and everyone's like, oh, how was your 6 and 6? Like, I've seen some videos that look rough and you were in a bad way. I was like, it's the best week of my life. They're like, what? I was like, I got to run with my friends and have a laugh.
Yeah.
I would just like go and stay like in different parts of Wales and just enjoy the scenery. People would just bring me fucking food. Whatever I asked for, they would just... People would just turn up with like a KFC. Like on day 4, Josh just rocked up with a KFC, and I was like, yes, like that's what I want. I'll have a KFC right now. Great. And yeah, just...
Ultra running, it's the perks.
It's not even that, because usually you have to pay for it yourself, and you got to drive yourself.
Being able to get rid of it. So some people would look at food
just...
and they say, oh, I can't eat that today, or I shouldn't be eating that.
Yeah.
And when you're thinking you're thousands of calories in a deficit, it's like that bucket's going, and I'm not even going to think about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to have like 10 cakes to wash it down.
It was just, it was a class week. Like, you got a whole list of just funny moments from the last day.
Well,
it's like I had 6 days of that.
Yeah, amazing. Well, when we got to the final checkpoint, and there was like a mini buffet there, wasn't there, with cakes. I was like, now we're talking. This is what I'm on about. I'd sort of run down my snacks in my bag, and I consumed them all. And I thought we're getting to the end now. And I just remember Joe's lemon drizzle. Get credit for that. I've said it a couple of times before in its post. And I saw it, and I thought, no one was taking into cakes. Everyone was being quite reserved. I was like, I just can have a little bit of that. He said, yeah, go on, cut it up. I was like, okay. And as I picked it up, I could see how moist it was. I know everyone hates the word moist, but I was like, hang on, this is looking quite good now. Usually when someone bakes a cake, it's a bit dry in it, and you eat it, wash it down, you're like, oh yeah, lovely. I looked at this, it was glistening back at me. I was like, hang on a minute. Eat it. Like round 2. I just try a little bit more, make sure it's all right. Yeah, and Josh is looking at me like, where are you putting all this? And went over to the car, I think, to see where you are. I got back. I was like, is anyone else having more of Welsh cakes? So I said, I'll have 2 Welsh cakes. Boom. Yeah, nice. And he's looking at me in disgust, like, mate, what? Are you single-handedly taking on this cake stand? I was like, we're out all day. We're going to make the most of this. Like, people, if it's been brought to us, and I was I'm sure I asked you, I went around the table, was anyone else want some? No one wants them. Like, I tell you what,
I was sat right next to the lemon drizzle as well, and I remember you, like,
was
I'd seen
banging.
you go in a couple of times, and then I remember you being like, "Well, do you want some of this lemon drizzle?" And I was like, "No, I'm good, thanks." She was like, "Oh, all right."
Josh was just shaking his head. He's like, again,
Disgusting.
you're wrong end. I was like, I need the calories, right? I'm heavy. I need to backfill because we need to finish this thing. And when we got to the finish, the lemon cake turned up again with brownies and other things. And I was like, is that the is it? Yeah, it is. Tin lid came off. I was like, in half. And then I turned around and Rose and Matt were like, me. It was like Wimpy off Popeye.
It's just like that meme that's going around where it's like got that chocolate cake is from like a cartoon. They cut a slice and then they pick up the rest of the cake. That's you with the lemon drizzle. It was when we was at the barbecue and then Joe rocks up and you're like, is that lemon drizzle in there?
I've got something for you. I was
yeah.
thank you.
And then it was just like afterwards she'd like obviously left me the tin of lemon drizzle
Yeah.
and I just remember messaging you just being like, having some lemon drizzle, mate.
That was lush.
Oh.
Really, and you know all those things. If what you do is like attracted all that, and you know create good memories, brilliant. Yeah, brilliant.
It was a wicked week. And again, yeah, thank you for coming out both the times that you did. Like, yeah.
No, thanks for giving us the opportunity.
Can have another one. Want to run 300 miles with me? Checkpoints are a little bit more sparse, I'll be honest, but.
That would be a beast.
It's going to be a good week.
Mm.
Good week. I can't wait. I think the 6 and 6 is good. Fucking hell. I was figuring it out because obviously, like, the distances that they say they are always like a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny in one of the group chats. I think it's the Slammers group chat. This is the first time I've spoken positively about that group chat. By the way.
I'm not in it.
Yeah, no, I know you're not in it, but the first time I've been positive about it, they were talking about like, oh, like that wasn't 30 miles, that was 32 miles after the rhythm and all of that. And the way that I think it was Mike Evans was processing it was like, yeah, but like you say it's 30 and then you get to 30 and then you're like, oh, it's only a bit more. Whereas like before the 30, if say it's 32 miles, you're at 27, you're like, oh, I've got 5 more miles. Like mentally he's like, that fucking checks me out. Whereas saying, oh, I got 3 more miles and you get the 3 more, it's like, oh, I've only got 2 more. Like, it's fine. Again, it's those little mental tricks that you use. And then he was saying like him and Dan had a conversation where it's like, yeah, that's VAT. Like that extra bit, that's the VAT on top. Like, you know, it's always there. When you're like, if you're shopping in America or online or something, it's like, oh, you don't always see the VAT, but like it's there. You got to add it on afterwards. Yeah.
Ultra tax. You're like, you wouldn't want to do a 50 miler and then finish, stop striving, it's say 49.2.
Yeah.
Especially if on there you wanted to get a 50 mile time, you wouldn't want it.
That happened on day 2 for me. I wanted a 50k, but it's a 30 miler, and 30 miles isn't actually 50k, it's 48k.
Right. Okay.
So I think we finished at like 49.2k.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I really wanted the 50k, guys. Like, I know I'm tired, but I got another 800 meters to go. And I went back out and then came back. And they're just like, you're a fucking idiot, Will. And I'm like, I wanted that 50k. Like, that's an ultra in my head. 50k, not 30 miles, because I'm one of the people that do kilometres.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, 50k, that's an ultra.
Yeah.
Anything less, that's not an ultra. That's just a shit marathon. But yeah, they were saying like, oh, that's VAT. So I figured out I did like, it was like just shy of like 230 miles. And then I was like, oh, so in my head when I was saying I'm going to do the owner, I was like, oh, it's only 70 more miles because it's 300, it's 300 miles. And then you add it up because they've all got VAT on them as well. They're usually like 105, 107. I was like,
a little bit more.
I was like, oh, it really adds up to like an extra 100 miles over the same amount of time. So I'm just like, oh, fucking hell, like, here we go. Like, it didn't sound that bad when I was like, oh, it's only 70 miles more. And then I sign up and figure out the maths. I'm like, oh, it's 100 miles more. So, you know, should only really do 2 of them in the week. But
tax.
Yeah. Got to get that tax.
Yeah.
300.
I couldn't think about doing those. I'm still in awe of the distance and the events that, you know, a ton of other people in the punks run. Yeah.
You could do it though.
Maybe.
Genuinely, you could do a 100-miler. It doesn't seem like it. Because people were baffled because, like, just before the 6, they were like, oh, you can do a 100-miler. I was like, no, that doesn't... I don't think I can. They're like, you're about to run 230 miles in a week. You can do 100 miles. And I was like, it's just different, isn't it?
As I've heard time and time again on your podcast, this is the circle that you get involved in, isn't it? You come to Punks for 10k. And when you're on a 10k, everyone's talking about the next ultra. And all of a sudden, you're doing an ultra. And then after you've done the ultra, everyone's at the finish line, having a drink, talking about when they're going to do their 100. And it's a slippery slope, isn't it?
Well, it goes ultra, slam.
Uh,
And I just thought it would go ultra slam, one of the 100-milers. It's gone ultra slam, 100-mile slam. Everyone's doing the honour series, and it's just like, fucking hell, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a big year for a lot of people.
I've got comfortable with 50s, I think. And I haven't done a huge amount, but comfortable enough that, like when everyone else was running the rhythm, I thought I'm going to go and do my own version. I just went out and done a 50 along the coast. And I'm comfortable doing that, which means that I must be uncomfortably able to go and do longer. I just haven't done it yet.
So what's the furthest that you've actually done?
60k.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, you're so much more capable than that. You're a bloody good runner.
That's it.
The fact that, like you're saying, the fact that you went out and did a 50k, like the day of Ridham, but like on your own, not as an event. I remember seeing that on Strava that day and just being like, fucking hell, fair play. Like,
if I didn't, I'd just get FOMO. Supposed to be doing the UK 3 Peaks, got cancelled because of weather. I'm sat in the house thinking, what am I going to do this weekend? Everyone else is doing the Ridham. I know Strava's going to be hot on, was it Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday. I can't be having this. So I even looked at the Ridham to see if I could sign up, but it was closed. I thought, maybe I don't want to push this one too hard. I'll just do my own thing. Because I was just going to turn up and run without a number and just rock up and go, I'll just run with everyone anyway. But it was we had a busy afternoon, and I thought, you know what, maybe I could sneak out first thing, so like 5ish. And if I start at 5, maybe 5-6 hours, I can just wrap it up by lunchtime, and then we can go off and do. I took Mason to watch Superman then after, and took him out for food.
That's what baffles me, is the fact that, like, you did it early, did a good time, like it wasn't.
I was really, do you know what? I was really happy. I was happy with up to 30k. Then I started. A cramp inevitably always gets me. It just does. And yeah, didn't finish it as strong, but I was happy that I got it done. I think it popped up as my second fastest 50 on Strava. And then got back in time for lunch, shower, and then took him out to the cinema.
That's what I mean. Like, you just carried on with life afterwards. Whereas, like, none of us did. We, I finished, and yeah, like, we sat and watched like loads of people finish.
Yeah.
So we was there for hours. Like, I wasn't home till like a lot later than expected, considering I was top 10 and I was one of the last to leave. I spent more time spectating than I did running in the end. Then it was just like, yeah, like I was done anyway. Like, even if I went home, I wouldn't have been used to anyone. You did a fucking whole run, 50k on your own in a good time, and then was like, yeah, just lunch now, cinema, and look after the kids. And I'm just like, what?
I was hoping I wouldn't fall asleep. I took him out to the cinema and I sat in there. The adverts were coming on, and I was okay. I think that was another reason I could offset just eating all afternoon. Just eat calories. I think I burned 5,500 calories, I think, if I look back on Strava. So I'm thinking then 5.5 in. And then we're only even.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing as well, is people don't realise this, because I've had to like talk to a few people about this, where they're like, maybe they've struggled to eat in the same amount that they've burnt. And then I'm like, yeah, but like keep trying to do that over the next few days to get your energy levels back and everything, because people are wiped for days after an ultra. And I'm like, genuinely, just keep eating. And they're like, yeah, but I've only burnt so many. And I'm like, you've burnt that many while you're running. now you're burning more than usual because you're recovering from running more than you usually run.
Right,
So it's
yeah.
the muscles that you've used. So there's all the muscle repair. But then there's just like the nervous system and the stress that your body's been through. Like your body's on overdrive for a few days trying to recover. Like you're going to need more than your standard. Like you can't just be like, right, I've usually burned 2,000 calories a day. I burnt 5,000 on this event. So I'll try and eat 5,000. Say you hit 4,000 one day. Then it's like, I'll have 3,000 the next day and then back to 2,000. I'm like, no, try and eat like 4,000 a day for the next like 3 days. And then like when you feel good, then you're like, okay, like I can cut my eating back.
No problem doing that.
If you're hungry, like eat. Don't be like, oh, I gotta like not because I'm watching my weight. Like no, like you need it. I don't think enough people realise that. And then when I encourage that, and I'm like, prioritise carbs mostly, and then protein secondary. And they're like, don't worry about anything else. They're just like, oh, what do you mean? Like, surely I want to be like up in my protein and trying to get that balance. I'm like, no, just get carbs, as many carbs as you can, as many nutrients as you can. Like that's another thing that's missed is everyone's like, oh yeah, like I'm just living off, and everyone knows I'm the worst for it. I'm living off pizza and cake for the next week. It's like, yeah, no, I do that, but where's the nutrients? Like your body's craving them. Like you need to, and as much as I'm the worst for doing it, and I do get hit with the post-race blues, I think that is a factor. It's like people aren't fueling properly afterwards and looking after themselves afterwards.
Fair. Yeah.
And your body's going to feel shit, especially like when you're training and you've been on it for so long and you've been eating and fueling well for it, and then you stop and then you eat shit and your body's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like I need nutrients. Like you're going to feel a bit shit. So that's my little nugget anyway. Hopefully that's useful for someone.
Yeah.
I should listen to it, but I'm not going to.
It's time to plug a course now. And
I have actually got running courses.
You could plug the course now. I would like to do longer distances. I'm not in any rush-ish.
The thing is,
I haven't booked any long events. I don't think I'm going to get any...
I'm not even sure. Well, I'm a bit torn now since our chat earlier about how you deal with the pressure and that excitement and stuff. But from my perspective, knowing you and some of the other things that you've done, which we haven't really spoke about, like you're saying, you just went off and did a 50k because you had FOMO. It's like, I see you going down the challenge route, like just with your mentality and everything, like the way I've gone, where it's like, I'm just going to set myself a fucking ridiculously hard challenge and fuck off and do it.
Probably.
And I think that suits you and your personality and like the chats that we've had on Wednesdays and whatnot. And yeah, we're both Goggins side of things.
There we go. I was just going to mention it. I did the first time I did the Goggins 4x4. I've done it twice now, and I have enjoyed it. And it was ugly in the middle. I don't know about how you found it, but with it being the first weekend of March, generally each year, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the official one.
That's the official one. So I've done it the first weekend of March, the twice that I have done it. I haven't done it this year, and I feel as if the year's a little bit emptier without it, because it's quite a nice way to set the year up. I thought, you do your winter training. I did race the Arc in January and something else in Feb. No, I had the St. David's Day run on the 1st of March, so that's what took its place, but otherwise I would have done it. But the first time I did it, it was, I had it in the back of my mind, and it was really spontaneous, to the point where I thought, if I don't do it, I'm not going to do it. And I was in work on a Friday, so it wasn't this year, it was 25, did it in 2023, and it was started on a Friday, and I was in work, and I mentioned to Em about potentially doing something like this, and the fact that it would just wipe my weekend out, so for her not to expect anything from me this weekend, because I'd be of no use to anyone. And I said, I was in work, and I was thinking, well, if I don't do it now, I'm not going to do it. Seize the moment. Right, when I'm going home, I'm going to start it as soon as I go home. So I left work at 4, got home like just before 5, and I did the first one at 5, and I did a 5:91. And she said, "Are you doing this run?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to do it." She said, "Right, okay, well, I'll look after the kids all weekend." And we had plenty of food in the house. I think she went out and did another shop just to make sure I had snacks. And I just ran from the house. 5 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 1 a.m., 5 in the morning, 9 o'clock, 1 p.m., and just repeated it. And just got it done. I think didn't say anything to anyone. I just put run 1, run 2, run 3, run 4, run 5, run 6, and all the way up to the 12. And yeah, just got that done. And I think one of the years, whether it was the first year or the last year, Pewey ran the last run with me, and he came down because he saw what I was doing. He thought, I'll come and help you out on the last one. It was brilliant because he didn't say anything. He just rocked up. He's like, well, I can see the pattern. I know you're going to run from your house at, I don't know, 1 p.m. So he just turned up in the car at like 10 minutes to, and I said, oh, mate, yes. And he just banged out the last run. And I think when things like that happen, it's wicked. You know, he didn't know I was doing it. He didn't mention it. He just turned up. He just knew the score. He knew what we were doing and just got the last one done. And the sun came out for the last one. Really pleased to get that done because not getting it, I don't know about you, no sleep. So from Friday to Sunday, I thought I was going to get some little bit of sleep within the 4 hours, but nothing.
I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, not as much as I'd like, but like a good hour at a time sort of thing.
Oh, okay. So what I found was I'd run, I did the 4 miles in about 45 minutes. And as soon as I got in, kit off and in the airing cupboard, shower. For some reason, I just went to cereal. Just massive bowl of like 4 or 5 Weetabix with some raisins and some sugar. Got that down my neck and then took some other snacks upstairs and I just lay down on the bed hoping that I'd go to sleep. Never did. And I got upstairs. If I could get that first bit done in the hour, then that's 45 minutes of running, 15 minutes of getting in, getting a shower, get a change, get food. I had 3 hours in bliss. 3 hours to nod off.
That's what you think.
And have a sleep. And I remember the first one, sort of sitting up on the bed. Right, go back out at 9 o'clock. It's just gone 6. Right, okay, 3 hours. And I was right, finished my cup of tea. 2.5 hours. Right, have a lie down. 2 hours 28. Right, okay. And then I was just clock watching, and all of a sudden it was 1.5 hours. Hang on a minute, it's nearly an hour. Oh, hour to go. And I was scrolling, and the kids were going to bed, and I think I was helping, maybe trying to put the kids to bed. And yeah, I just never went to sleep on any of them. Not even in the middle of the night.
I made a video about it, but I think I had like 3.5 hours total.
Right.
So more than you, but
it is crazy what the body will do. And for me, it was a big deal. For some people, it wouldn't be a big deal, but that I thought it was a good test because I'd never done anything like that before. But it just goes to show you can keep going. And I just kept consistency of making sure my kit was off and had the best chance of drying because it was March, it was cold. I don't want to be putting wet kit on if possible. Try and dry shoes out. Get clean, I don't want to be sweaty. Try and refuel, get a bit of rest and go again. And I did find like number 8 and 9 hard. I got to halfway, I got number 6 done, and it was that feeling like, hey, start counting down. And I got number 7, and I think maybe that fell at night, and I was going back out at 1 in the morning. I was like, man, this is tough. Like, this is, no, everyone else is in bed. And I remember picking, on the routes where it was bright and like daytime, I go off and run the dunes, or down to the dunes, out round like the rural areas, like the farms and lanes. I thought, I ain't running those at night because if for whatever reason, I fall, twist your ankle, hit something, I don't want to call Em and say, get the kids in the car and come down the dunes in the middle of the night. I mean, it's irresponsible. So I thought, minimum, I'd go somewhere civilised. Like I just run through Bridgend. And so if anything happened, I could phone herself, pick me up at the train station, pick me up at the bus stop or where Greg's is, something like that. But I was running through town and everyone was on a night out. And everyone was like pints and this steaming. And I remember being on that scene and there's me running through on like run number 8, just trying to get it done. And it's just what a contrast. Like I know what it's like to be on a night out and it's wicked. And if I saw someone running through doing a run, I was like, they get heckled. So I was expecting, I did get heckled, and I was just running past people. Like, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't know. This is mid-30s now, guys. Give it a couple of years, and I'll see you out here too. And it was quite nice on Insta seeing other people doing it, and I quite liked that, the social side of it. Last year, similar thing again, where I said to Em, I might be doing it. I came home. She's like, "You gonna do it?" I was like, "Yeah." And it was snowing. It started snowing. So I insta'd this because I got up to speed now, and I started posting stuff. I remember going out in the garden and filming me doing my jacket up, and it's just the sleet and the snow was coming down, and the first 2 runs was icy, and then it stopped, and it got a bit better then. Really glad to just prove to myself you get it done again. And what I would love is, I'm not going to pressure anyone, but I'd love to do it in a group. If anyone else wanted to say, right, come rain or shine, a bunch of us will do it all together. I'd love that. That would be class.
I'm in.
That'd be class. And I don't know where the start would
Start
be.
tomorrow?
But it'd be wicked if we had a base, like a base where you could say, right, we've got this place for the weekend. Bring a sleeping bag, a mattress, or and your snacks and a speaker.
Oh, going away and getting an Airbnb.
Get an Airbnb or Sleeps 12, something like that.
Can we do this? Like, I'm game, but I want it to be like the most fucked route you can think of. I want it to be like mountainous. Adds to the challenge. Like,
well, there we go.
Class.
But it'd be wicked.
Add in a wicked load of elevation
and multiple different types. So you maybe have to spin a wheel or spin a bottle, and you choose which route you go out on. Maybe say you have variation three routes, and then you 6 if you can do them in reverse, and you spin a bottle and just accept fate, and you get that team feel. So everyone comes in, and you got 3 hours to chill, annoy people, get on with people, heckle, and then you have the countdown, and someone.
Rose will be up for it.
I think. Well, I don't know who would or who wouldn't, but I've always, having done 2 4x4s on my own, both times I thought I'd love to do this with a bunch of people, with like tunes constantly going, something happening, always in the background, and just get everyone through, get it done.
Yeah, I'm up for it. Like, you've sold it. Where do I sign up?
Yeah, well, I've missed it this year. I feel as if
I don't think because if you're doing it as a group, I really don't think it's imperative to do it on that date.
No,
do your own thing.
No, but
I didn't do it.
I just followed it. I just followed it then.
Do a date that just works for people.
The first event that I did, like similar to that, was Endure 24.
I'm doing that next year.
So am I.
Oh, are you?
Yep.
Oh, come on.
In Reading.
Yeah.
So
I'm doing it for Sport in Mind because they obviously get the charity places, and I'm an ambassador now. So they were like, "Oh, do you want to come down and represent us?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's go."
It was brilliant. That was the first event that we did. That was the first event. I guess that was another sort of, when you say, what was your call to adventure? Initially, it was doing the Welsh Three Peaks with a bunch of mates, doing it really ugly. I was, and getting it done. And then probably a sub call into adventure is doing Endure 24, because that was off the back of being in hospital with Mason, and it was the thing that got me thinking about getting out of hospital to raise money. And I chose Endure 24 because it was very, what's the word, to endure is very similar to enduring, being in hospital, and managed to get a team together, and it was just as continuous running, like relay running, and I thought, that's very similar to what it mirrors. It mirrors.
So are you doing it as a team then?
Yeah,
I'm doing solo.
Way. Well, I'll see you around.
Yeah,
it was brilliant. There's a great vibe around the campsite. There was a DJ sneakily parked in the woods, just banging out tunes in the middle of nowhere in this like Polynesian hut, and it was towards the end, so you knew as you could hear the music, you were getting closer, and then maybe you only get 2 or 3k after that, after the tunes, where you're back in the village. Great route, nice little bit of elevation, some nice runnable downhills. There's parts where you're just deep in the thick of the forest, and it was quite eerie at night because you just see these head torches bobbing through. Loved it. Looking forward to doing it again, actually.
Yeah.
Definitely a good test. The thing about the 24-hour events is that I find my body does react differently throughout the cycle of the day. It just does. And I'm looking at heart rate, and my heart rate, for the same, is harder. If I was, how am I going to explain this now? If I go out with the intent of pacing exactly the same, it costs me more at night. Either I slow down or my heart rate raises, probably because my body says I want to be sleeping. But it does cost me something running distances through the night. And when the sun comes up, it's almost like something magical happens, is that I either get faster or my pulse comes down and I'm doing it easier. And I'm like, I'm honestly the whole way through. And on some of the 4x4 by 48 runs, go out, do the same route with the same perceived effort. Obviously, I can't measure that, so I can't tell, but something gave at night. I either ran a slower pace, or when I ran the same speed, my heart rate was elevated and I found it significantly harder.
Yeah. See, I found something a bit different. I know it's different when you're doing like these events and you're doing like either you're constantly going like every 4 hours or like for the 24 hours. But generally, if I'm just going out training, I found if I go for a night run recently, my body's just a lot more relaxed and I get into like that flow a lot easier.
Right.
So then it's just like I haven't checked the stats or anything, but like my RPE is just like so low.
Brilliant.
But like my pace and everything is like similar, if not faster than what I usually run. And I'm just like, it just feels good. Like I like running at night in the dark.
Right. I can't disagree with that, because prime example is Wednesday trails. Love them.
Yeah.
No pressure. Easy to get out the house, and love running trails at night. Some of them are 10k, just float away. Or I think I've only done 2 or 3k, and you've done 10. It's like, whoa! I feel as if I've done this run for free. So no, I get that. I think my experience of doing
it's different in an event though, isn't it?
I think after hours and hours in,
yeah,
I just notice in myself after when I'm doing those 24-hour runs, that there is, when I look back at the numbers, there's a difference, and I can notice it. Not enough to deter me, but I just conscious of it. And when
have
the sun
you thought
comes
about
up,
doing a backyard?
I have, yeah, I have.
I think you'd be good at them.
Time will tell. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to sign you up for one.
Another good one was the swim the night, which was 1 mile an hour. It doesn't sound like much, but we did 1,600 meters.
See, when you first said it to me, like I didn't process that it was swimming, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. What the fuck are you on about?
Hmm.
And then you was talking, and then you kept mentioning swimming. I was like, what? You're swimming 1 mile an hour? And I was like, oh, okay.
That was brilliant, and I wish we'd done it this year. But we started at 6 p.m. and we went through to 6 a.m. and that was cool. It's just different. We done 1,600 meters. So I think a mile, I might be off, but a mile is like 1,500 and something. So we rounded it up to 1,600s.
I think it's like 16.09 or something.
Oh, okay.
So you're just shy, but
so we done 1,600s off a certain time, which means everyone starts on the hour. 1,600s took us to about, I think it was 32 minutes, just over the half hour the way we paced it, and then everyone's out. You got 28 minutes to do whatever you want, refuel, have a laugh, and team did really, really well. There was some breaking points at like 2 a.m. Really unusual to be in the leisure centre at 2 a.m. in the change rooms, in your towel, eating chicken nuggets and popcorn and just snacks. But there was a ton of people. There's some boys swimming it off 1:30 pace, which is, in morning session it's fine, but when they're repping that 12 times throughout the night, that's a bit spicy. We were going off 1:45s, but maybe even slower than that. Maybe 1:45 in 2 minutes. But yeah, loved that. I'll do that again. In fact, I wouldn't mind a 24-hour version of that, and to see at what point I'd give up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Enduro 24, loved it. Doing it again. That's the only thing I've got booked in for next year.
Nice.
Actually.
We'll have to get you signed up to a few more things. Have you read...
this is the part of the year now where the year seems... It feels as if it's competition sort of winds down, and this is where everyone books for next year, isn't it? And you get a bit trigger happy on the computer. You see something and you go, I'll have that.
I'm ahead of the curve. I've already done it.
There you go. You've done it.
I've got like 3 events and my challenge already booked. So I'm like, okay, cool. That's my year done. That's a big year. To be fair, they're all big events.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Have you read Living with a Seal? The
No.
Jesse Etzler, David Goggins book?
No.
Read that. And I would really like to see you copy the workouts from it.
Right, okay.
Because he's basically, it's like when Jesse had David living with him for a month, and he's just like logging down like, oh, this is what we did this day. And I read the book and I was like, fuck, that sounds class. Funnily enough, it was when the same week I got made homeless was the same week that I read it for the second time, and I was like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a day at a time, and I'm just going to copy the workouts.
Okay, yeah.
So the first 2 days I read it, and I was still had somewhere to live, and then on day 3 I was made homeless, and then I was like, I've got even more time to do this now. So then I was just copying the workouts, and I just did like I said, every day I would just read the page, be like, what's the workout today? Right, that's what I got to do. So first thing I did when I woke up, well, I was actually reading the next day.
Right, yeah,
because there might be things where it's like, oh, I got woken up at like 2 a.m. and had to go out, and I was like, right, I got to copy that.
Yeah.
So I'd read it the day before and then make notes of like, right, this is tomorrow's workout.
Yeah.
And I found it funny because on one of them it's like, oh, and then he made me like sleep in a chair, like he dragged me out of bed and he was like, you got to sleep in this chair tonight. And I was already sleeping in chairs because I was homeless. So I was like, been doing this already. This is fine.
I haven't heard of that. No, do you know what?
It was, honestly, it was a wicked challenge. And it's got, in the last page, it's got like a total of like how many push-ups, pull-ups and miles he did throughout the month.
Yeah.
And it's like totals like a silly amount. I might have the book up there still. So I might have lent it to someone, I don't know. I'll have a look before you go and I can see it. I can see it. I'll show you it because I like highlighted all the workouts and everything, and like there's a wicked challenge. You'd love that.
This because what's going to happen now is I'm going to go home, and people are going to wake up in the house like, "What are you doing?" It's like challenge number 17.
Well, it's like the first day it was like
middle of the night sort of thing.
How many pull-ups can you do?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I managed like 10 pull-ups. And then he's like, right, give it a minute. How many more pull-ups can you do? And then he was like, oh, I did like 4. How many more can you do? Oh, I can do 1. And then he was like, we're not leaving here until you've done 100 pull-ups total. Jesse's just like, what? Like, this is fucking day 1. And he's like, yeah, we're not leaving this room until you've done 100 pull-ups total. And it's like, I've done it. It's not actually like as bad as you think when you're doing it. But then like hearing that for the like, say you don't really work out that much, and it's like, do 100 pull-ups. It's like, fuck off. What do you mean do 100? Like, I can do a set of 5? Like...
Yeah.
But, like, because I've done things like that, like, the same year that I did that, I'd broken my ankle that same year, so I wasn't allowed to put my foot on the floor.
Yeah.
And that was 2020, that was COVID. And they eased the lockdown for Christmas, didn't they? So I went home for Christmas, came back the same day because I was like, it's the only day that you're allowed to travel to see family and whatnot. So I travelled, saw my family, came back. A couple of days later, I get a message off my dad being like, oh, I've got COVID, by the way. Like, you're going to have to isolate. And I was like, fuck. So like, I've got a broken leg, I'm isolating, and like, I can't go out and do anything. And it's my fucking birthday. And I always did something on my birthday. I tried to like make an event of it, of like, not like going out getting pissed or anything, but like doing a challenge, like going for a run or something. And I was like, what do I do? So I was like, oh, inspired by that book, I was like, I'll do 1,000 pull-ups in a day. So this was fucking horrible because I'm not that good at pull-ups.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay. I can do like a set of 10. And it's like, that's about as much as it goes. And I was like, I'll do 1,000 in a day. So I did the whole Goggins thing, because he had the record, didn't he?
Right.
And he was like, on the minute, every minute, I did 5 for like the 24 hours. And I was like, well, I can't keep that up. So I was like, if I break it down to 3. So I was doing 3 pull-ups on the minute, every minute, but I did it for 6 hours. And the first, like, 100, I was like, yeah, this is all right. You get to the 200 mark, and I was like, I can barely fucking pull up anymore. And I was like, I've got 800. I remember calling my parents being like, I've got 800 more to go. And I had my computer going in the other room with a Tabata timer.
Yeah.
So it'd just go, beep! And I would just be like, oh, pull ups. And then I'd sit down and just wait for the beep every minute. 6 hours, mate. And like, I couldn't cook or anything in that time, so I was just having like shakes just in between. I'd blend a shake, neck it, and be like, oh, fucking more pull-ups, right? Can drink a bit more. Miserable.
Parents at home wondering where they gone wrong.
They were loving it. They were like, yeah, go on, Will, keep going. Beep. Oh, he's doing pull-ups again. Yeah, my parents are like, they're too encouraging of this stuff by now.
Oh, okay.
They know I'm going to do it anyway, no matter what. So they're just like, yeah, come on. Gonna be a bitch about it. You're going to do it. Fucking.
I think.
What's next?
Yeah, I think my mum especially is only just come around to accepting that I'm going out for a run in the rain. Where are you going out? Yeah, it's raining. Yeah.
I mean,
okay. So,
both my parents now have told me they want to run an ultra.
brilliant.
So I'm like, why talk about it? Let's go.
Yeah.
Do you want to go now?
Just the one.
Don't fancy doing 300 miles with me in a week? No? Come on. But to be fair to my dad, like, I tell this to everyone, and like, when he first mentioned he wanted to do an ultra, and I'm like, oh, do you want to come down, like, do the Ridden with me or something? Like a nice entry level, like 50k. I was like, what one were you looking at? And he was like, oh, I'd really like to do Leadville. I was like, fucking Leadville? And he was like, yeah. Like, he likes America, and he likes that part of the world, and fascinated by it. Like Colorado and all of that. And he's like, yeah, Leadville. Because he's, like, been and seen some of the places. It's like, looks like an amazing 100-miler. And I'm like, yeah, it's a fucking hard one. It's like one of the hardest in America, isn't it? I was like, yeah, all right. I was like, I'll crew you. I'll come crew you for it if you want to do it. So, yeah, who knows? Maybe next few years you'll see my dad running Leadville.
It'll be on Insta now.
Yeah. That'd be wicked if he does. Fair play. But yeah, I do want to... I just like getting them doing one of the, like, the Pegasus ones. They're just so accessible. And yeah, it'd be good for them.
It seems to. I mean, they've only been so popular, you know, with the close group of friends that I know, and you know, the punks. It seems that they're really popular. Haven't done one yet. Everyone else has.
I mean, you've done the course.
I've
You
done
just
the
haven't
course.
got the atmosphere of it all.
No.
But it's just like, yeah. The thing is, this might ruffle a few feathers. I don't think it's super special. Like, it's not like they've reinvented sliced bread or anything. Reese just cares a lot about the runners. And that's what's special about it. It's not like, yeah, they've got good checkpoints, some of the best that I've been to, but like, when I was at the Backyard Ultra at the weekend, like, that was a pretty well-run event as well, and like, the atmosphere was good, and yeah, there's some wicked events out there. I don't want people to just be like, oh, Pegasus or nothing. Like, go out, explore some events, but as events go, they are fucking good.
Everyone speaks positively of them, yeah.
And it's just because Reese cares, so he's like, right, what if I was running an ultra?
What would
I want?
Yeah.
He knows because he's run a lot of ultras, so it's like, okay, yeah, he's got a pretty good insight. I think that's as much as you need as a race organizer. Like, just think, what would I want in that situation? Okay, let's build that in.
A nice route, an interesting route, and some decent checkpoints.
Yeah.
There we go.
And a hug at the end, which he gives them.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not like it's a forced one. Like, I've seen some finish lines where it's like, yeah, well done, yeah, have this. It's just like, you don't really care, do you?
Yeah, no.
Or there's other ones where people don't even pretend to care. Like I heard stories of Lisbon Half. Have you
Right.
heard the stories from that?
Ah, maybe.
So
Why,
like,
why does that ring a bell?
some of my clients ran it this year, and some people I know, and they were like, the last 200 meters was a queue for the finish line. So you got your chip time, but you're queuing to finish. So like, you're going for a PB.
That's...
And it's like, you're then having to wait because it's like bottlenecks at the
That would
finish.
be annoying, wouldn't
And
it?
then at the finish, it's just like, you know, you get, someone puts a medal around you, says, well done, do you want a banana, whatever, like usual half stuff. Just people just not saying anything, just handing you a wrapped up medal. Just,
Yeah.
there you go. Yep. It's just like, come on, that's like a massive thing. Imagine that's your first half marathon, like big experience, you've travelled to Lisbon.
Yep.
You're like, oh, this is massive. You finish it, you queue in, and then you just feel shit.
So off that, would you do any road racing, any road marathons, any thing that wasn't trails? Has anyone asked you that?
No one has asked me that.
Would you
to be fair.
would you put yourself into one of those events?
Everyone assumes no. I'm doing the Cardiff half this year.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did only sign up because my client signed up and I was going to run with them.
Yep.
So I am doing the Cardiff half. I'm not against them. I'm going down the track a bit more recently. I'm quite enjoying that. I like going down the track. Trail is more fun because it's more of an adventure.
It is.
But then whenever I talk about adventure athletes, I say about the dichotomy of what it is, of like, you've got adventure and you think of an adventurer, you think of like Arctic explorers, and they're just like these rugged men going out and just, there's no real plan. It's like, I'm going to go explore and have this adventure, and it's just a wild time and you can't predict anything. And then you've got an athlete who's the exact opposite of like, everything's super structured in their life. They've got their nutrition, their recovery, their training all dialed down. You're looking at like the science of everything. And adventure athletes is trying to find somewhere where both can exist, because I love sports science. That's why I like coaching. I like finding out what people are capable of. But then at the same time, I love adventure, and that's where trail comes in. Is like, I like the adventure of it all, but then I like track sessions. I like being like, oh, like, let's do some plyometrics and some sprints and like, what's the science of like doing these lactate sessions versus like our rolling Ks and all these different things. And I'm like, yeah, I can't decide which I prefer, but like, I'm definitely not against road events. It's just, they have to have a purpose for me in my training. Like, I haven't signed up for one since I did the Cardiff half the first time.
Yeah.
Because I haven't really been pushing it. But like, there's been times in my training where I've just gone for like PB 5Ks, and it's like, that's a lot of road training. That's a lot of just like speed work, and I enjoy that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can imagine I'll probably do some more, because I do like the idea of getting fast, which you kind of do in an ultra, but not really. Like a 5 hour 50k, very different from like a 17-minute 5k. Like, that's apples to oranges, aren't they? But I want to do both, so
Nice.
yeah. Would you do many road events now? Or?
I've done the London Marathon, and strangely, I found it really antisocial.
Yeah, I get that about the big events. So when you said road events, I didn't think of like a big one like that, but like,
I jumped in on the Cardiff half, just running with someone else's number because I couldn't make it on the day. So we didn't change names. I just wore John's thing, and people call me John all day. Go on, John. So, and I ran that with Pewey, and then I managed to get in on a charity place for the London Marathon last year, and I think a lot of people bigged it up and they said, this is going to be the best run of your life. This is pinnacle event. And maybe it was just bigged up too much. And when I was running it, it seemed like nobody wanted to talk. Everyone was on about a time. To the point where when you were talking to people that you didn't know, when you're picking up your numbers in the days prior, or in the morning of, an hour prior to the race, and people milling around, and you bump into someone and you say, how's it going? Are you feeling good? The weather's nice. They just go, what time are you going for? You might as well have just asked that first before your name. Like, morning, I'm going for sub 3 hour. What's your name? And I was not taken aback, but I was like, oh, okay, right. Everyone's focused on their time. Somebody fell over in front of me, and everyone just jumped over them. I'm gone. Fuck you. I'm gone.
The thing is...
Whereas on a trail, I know that if that happened, you're okay, I'll help you up, and I'll run with you for a bit. But I get that they're, two wildly different events. London Marathon was mad. It was packed. It was flat as a pancake. There's only so many buildings you can look at and think, wow, because there's nothing wow about them, I don't think. When you look at a mountain and it's got ice on the top and you're going up there and then you come back down through those woods, running along the road, it's just too safe. You can stop at any time and come off if you want. And I just found it very antisocial. And I got to the end, maybe a little underwhelmed. I didn't run as well as I would have liked to have. I've run it for charity and we raised a lot of money, which was excellent. But when I met him and a couple of people at the end, it was amazing. I was like, I'm pleased I've done it, and tick the box. But let's go home, and just went home, and then went swimming the next morning. Jumped in the pool and then went to work and stuff like that. So I haven't done a huge amount. I know people that year in year out sign up and they want a PB, fantastic runners, and they love it. But it didn't resonate with me, that's all. I don't get it. And then we go on the trails.
So on that spectrum of adventure athlete, you're more towards the adventure side. This is how I place people when I'm like talking to them. I'm like, what do you like? Where are you on the scale?
Yes, so probably. But then on the science side, when I've watched, like, to coin UTMB, and you're watching the science they put into tracking the race leaders, and they've got their stats, and then when they come in the checkpoints, they're timing their turnarounds, and they almost got like Formula One style checkpoint teams where the runner comes in and then they've got somebody bottles out someone else, rubbish out, food in, get that food down your throat, and everything's laid out on the table. I'm like, oh, that is smart. That is really good. I love that. They got fresh bottles, and there's someone just on bottles, out, in. Wrappers out, food in. There's your food to eat now. Do you need some of that? Do you need some of that? Sponge on the head. Swap this out. Go. Yeah. And they're trying to get in and out in sub a minute. And then there's someone commentating, oh, there was 49 seconds then out of the checkpoint. And on, whoa.
Yeah. No,
so they do focus on a bit of science, and the cam runners and the bike cams following them, and they got the speeds and they put it on the screen and they show you where you are on the route. I love that interaction. I think that's brilliant. And also, so on some of the longer races, I love the adventure element of seeing them set off and they're running the road. They're on a fire track, and then I might go off and get a cup of tea or coffee or something and come back. Where are they now? Oh, they're in the forest. It's like, they completely changed terrain. And then just before we go to bed, you're like, I wonder where they are now. They're up on the top of the mountain. Oh, they're going through snow. Oh, and it's dark, and there's rain hitting them from the side, and they've got all their weather gear on. Wake up in the morning, where are they? Oh, they're on a ridge. The sun's coming up, and it's like multiple different races all crammed into one adventure, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
It is just like a scale, though, isn't it? Because, like, you won't get that on London Marathon. Nope. You're not like, how fast are they drinking that cup of water?
It's just all speed.
Yeah.
It's just all speed.
But, like, there is a place for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just different people like different things. And there's people that are like, I don't want that being brought into the trail world. And I'm like, why not? What's wrong with competition? What's wrong with wanting a better time and focusing on that and focusing on positions and stuff? Like, I don't see anything wrong with it. That doesn't take away from what you want from the trails. Like, it's not like, because we want to compete, you have to compete and you can't enter these for fun anymore. You have to enter it because it's a race and we're racing. It's like, no, the people that want to race it are going to race it. If you don't want to race it, don't race it. Just go and enjoy it, or suffer through it, or do whatever.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want to get out of it at
Yeah.
the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it doesn't take away from anything. Like, there was a big thing around free running. You probably heard about it around FIG when gymnastics were trying to take over parkour a few years back.
Yeah.
So Federation of International Gymnastics claimed that parkour was going to be a sub-discipline of gymnastics because it's so similar.
Yeah.
And it's like, although the movements are similar, like the whole ethos of it is completely different. So they started running their own parkour competitions, and there was a massive divide in the free running community of like, oh, like, this is really shit for the sport. Like, we've got our own governing bodies, we don't need them. And I completely understand that. And then there was the people that were like, well, this is how parkour's going to get into the Olympics, so we're going to go and compete and give ourselves the best chance for like marketing and sponsorship and get into these big competitions like the Olympics. And I could see both sides because, one, I was a full-time gymnastics coach, and two, I'm an old school free runner.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can see both sides.
Torn.
But like, at no point, like, I would have like really deep conversations about this because people would assume that I'm on the gymnastics side. Or there were people that were on the gymnastics side that were then like, oh, he's going to be one of us, and they'll talk to me. And I'm like, no, I quite like the old school. Like, I would never go to one of those competitions. I disagree with them. But I don't disagree with them to the point where I'm going to be like, you shouldn't do them. Which a lot of people were. And that a lot of people got a lot of shit.
What did they?
A lot of shit for competing. And I was just like, no, you go. It's a great opportunity for you. Like, go make the most of it. I'm not going to go because that's not what I want to do with it. And a lot of people got torn in that they'd lost friends because like they were like, some of them were so anti and some of them were so pro that they would just fall out. And I was just like, to the people that are anti it, I always say, because they're always the most opinionated ones I find, is I was always like, this doesn't stop you from training free running how you want. You've got this idea of free running, like it might be the old school mentality of like this should be like a pure thing and anti-competition and all of that, or it might be like, oh, like we've got our own governing bodies and we should run our own competitions, and I'm like, that's fine. Or it might be like, I just want to go out with my mates, and I'm like, no matter what your version of that is, you can still go and do that. They're not stopping you doing that, even if it does get into the Olympics and gymnastics does take over the name parkour. You go out and jump on some walls. Like, that's what you're doing at the end of the day. Does it really matter if people are holding competitions? I don't know. I was the same with rock climbing, because like rock climbers, some of them, the old school traditional climbers, had a bit of an issue with competitions and how the competitions were set, and when it got into the Olympics that you had to do all three, bouldering, top rope, or bouldering, lead and speed. And I was just there like, does it stop you going out and climbing those rocks with
not at all.
Some bits of metal that you wedge in a crack? No. Go and enjoy yourself. Fuck what they're doing. I'm the same with trail running. Like, if you want to rock up and turn it into a race and support UTMB and whatever else, fucking go and enjoy it. That's what you like. If you don't want to race, don't fucking tell other people not to race and be like, oh, you're soiling the sport. It's an adventure. It's like, it is a race at the end of the day. Like, yeah, just fucking go off and have your adventure. Like, you can go run 100 miles in your backyard if you want.
Could do.
Don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
No one's telling you not to do that.
Yeah.
Why are you telling these people not to race? That's what they enjoy. Like, let them enjoy it. Why does it matter?
I get the impression, having joined a couple of these events, a lot of people start with the thought that I might be able to do it. I might. What if I can do that? And that is, I think that big question mark is a big part of the adventure as well. Is that you sign up to a 50, like, well, I don't know whether I can do this. Or like the slam, I know I can do a 50, but I don't know whether I can do this each month all the way to the end without getting run down or without getting injured. And there must be a bit of relief for some of the guys just finished the rhythm now. Maybe at the start of the year, maybe I can do it, or I hope I can achieve that. And then you get, oh, I've achieved it. I just see a lot of people on start lines. There will be a few that race. This is just my perception, whether it's professionally or that they're doing the same race again and again and again, or the same distance, and they want to beat a time. But I just see the most part, a lot of people turning up who just want to go from A to B.
Yeah.
And they don't even know if they can. And I think that's brave, and I think that is the trail running community. Maybe I can do something cool that I couldn't do last year, and I'd be proud of myself for doing it, and I might be better off. How would you do that? Welcome to Trails, every Wednesday night.
Come to Trails, we'll get you ready for an ultra.
Yeah. So whether it's under a brand name or not, I still see a lot of people, whether it's smaller events or huge events, nervously rocking up to start lines, and just, you can see it in them. They're like, this is going to sting. Let's have it.
Yeah.
And it's going to sting much more than, me being sat on a couch at home watching football on telly.
Yeah.
And I know I'll get more out of it.
This is what I'm saying to the people, though, is because, like, there's a lot of them that are like, they're like, oh, yeah, the sport's growing, but, like, we want it to just be focused on that and enjoying it and going out and having this experience. And I'm like, that's, like you're saying, that's the majority of it.
I think that's how I see it.
Yeah. And there is a small minority of people that want to race. Like, I look at Ridden, because it's, like, the most recent example we've got. The top two people came in like a good 40, 50 minutes before anyone else. You know they're there to race. I turned up I didn't even know if I was going to run it, and then I come top 10. I'm still a good hour behind them. And it's like the difference between the guys that are winning it, and I know it's a smaller event and they're some pretty established guys, and then everyone else is night and day. But it's everyone else is just there to run it.
Yeah.
I don't think Rod's went out with the intention of I'm going to race this and try and win. He's going out he might be I want to beat my time from last year, but he's not I'm gunning for first place. You could tell by the way he's running, pacing himself and casual and overtaking me 40k in and fucking prick.
Well, I wasn't there and I didn't see it, but I can imagine he just paced it really well. Yeah, and he's got good experience.
Honestly, I was surprised that it took him that long to overtake me, because he's
maybe that's the experience in not going out so fast.
Yeah,
and then just knowing you've got it in the back end, and then having that kick towards the end, just picking people off.
Yeah. I feel like he picked a fair few people off from the last checkpoint to the finish.
Must give you a boost. Picking everyone off, just chilling, picking everyone off.
Headhunting. Plod does that. When he was doing Serona, and he was really struggling. He wasn't sure if he was going to make the cut-offs and stuff. Yeah, but I was getting all the voice notes and stuff. And then when he started to feel good again, and he was voice noting me, and they'd made the cut-off at the middle checkpoint or whatever, and then he's like, I can see where everyone else on the field is on the tracker, and he was like, I'm going to have these. And he was just, picking heads, and he would voice note me being like, I got another one. And it, he told me before, he was like, that's what I do in these races. It's even when he's feeling good, he's like, I will just pace the first half just because I know it's 100 miles. It's a long way, or 200 miles. It's a very long way. And then he's like, I'm experienced enough that, I know it's going to suck. I know I'm going to suffer. And when it gets to that point where people are suffering for the first time and they're like, I'm struggling here, I might call it. He's just going to, boom. Yeah, see you later. Got you now. Oh. And it's all those people that are super confident at the start, and he's just picking them off. And they're just especially when he was overweight, he would tell me this. It was imagine being overtaken on a 100-miler by a fat guy with a beer belly that stopped off at the pub.
And he's happy as singing when he goes past.
Bright pink tutu, pink hair, just hey! Imagine that, 100 miles into a 200-mile race. Makes
somebody DNF. Well, what happened? You're going so well. You stopped. Don't talk about it.
But it's just that's experience right there. He just knows, he's confident. Yeah, cool. That's what's gonna happen. Yeah. Calling it before he's even started. He's yep. He's just You got to do a lot of races to have that experience, and he's done a lot
you
of
can't
it.
buy that. You just got to live it,
Yeah.
haven't you?
I do feel like we've already spoken about what's next for you. You've got Endure 24. That's the only event signed up.
Not much.
I feel like we need to sum this podcast up by signing you up for something. I'm like, right, what can we get James to do now? I think a backyard ultra would be good for you. Like, I think you'd just enjoy it, but then I think there should be a personal challenge. I don't know. I'm usually pretty good at picking challenges for people. Like, all my clients will tell you, they'll be like, "Fucking well, sign me up for this."
So we've got a group, the community 4x4 by 48.
That'd be wicked. I'm 100% down for that.
I'd be down for that. I think that would be good. Enduro 24. Not that I wanted to do Snowdon UTS 50, but when I saw the price, it just jumped up, and it was like 220. I was like, nah, man, they're taking the piss now. This is ridiculous. So I thought, no, not that precious about it, so I'll let that go. I'd love to do the Eiger E50 one, which is in July. Struggled massively on the E35, got it done practically last. A really pivotal race, I think. Taught me a lot, met some cool people. That opens soon, so I'd like to be able to get on, but I think it must be popular enough to go on the ballot now, so you can only enter the ballot to get in, so I'd like to do that. The scenery is amazing. I love the area, I love the region, and any excuse really to go back to do an event there and just try and do an A to B. I don't know. I'm looking for a couple of things. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. The year before last, I pretty much lined up a race every month, and I got the first couple out of the way, and then I was like, God, man, I'm doing all these on my own as well. And I'm travelling, about the place, whether it's North Wales or Mid Wales or down to do the Serpent in, where is it? Just south of London, on the South Downs, or whether to do Exmoor. And I just all travelling's on my own. Got no one to share the sort of the highs and lows with.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind jumping on a couple of group challenges. But yeah, an individual one, don't know.
We'll think of something. Well, thanks for coming on anyway, mate.
Hey, no, thanks for asking me.
It's been a great chat.
I don't even feel like I should be on here. I mean, I feel as if I've been set up. I know when we were running recently, you said, "Oh, you should come on the podcast," and Rose was like, "Yeah, I know. I told him you should go on the podcast." Oh, you set me up on this. I was like, "Well, you're coming on after it," and but no, it's lovely to be asked. I've never been on a podcast, so that's another box ticked. Doing new things.
Yeah.
I don't think I consider myself like an endurance athlete. I really struggle, especially because compared to some of the people we know who bang out the longer distances with better ease. So
it's not about that for this podcast. I like celebrating people's athletic achievements, but it's just the mindset that you show that really intrigued me about having you on, because we talk about it a lot off camera, and I was like, fuck, we have some good chats, and we got very similar mindsets when it comes to challenges and stuff, and it's just it'll be an interesting chat, and I think it has been.
Oh no, awesome, thanks.
Yeah.
But, yes.
First podcast done.
I got.
Oh, I forgot to press record.
Don't say that.
Thanks again for listening to another episode of the Adventure Athletes podcast. As I keep going on and banging on, you're probably bored of hearing me talk about it. The more you guys share this podcast, the bigger and better it gets. I really want to expand this podcast. I want to do so much with it, and the only way I can do it is through you guys sharing, listening, and going back and listening to the old episodes. We've got tons of episodes that some of you probably haven't listened to. I can't even begin to recommend where to start, because there are so many incredible episodes. We've had some fantastic guests, and it's only getting bigger and better. And I want it to keep going that way. So the more you guys share, the more we can build on the podcast. Until next time, guys.